Saginaw Midland. Michigan sports aren't just a game, they're a way of life. And now we've got a show dedicated to die-hard sports fans like you. Hosted by a guy who's borderline obsessed with the wins and losses of all your favorite teams.
He's crazy.
Every weekday morning from 9 to noon, Ben Bosscher brings you the talk that matters. The teams, the stories, and the players you care about most. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair.
Remember that. Hello, and welcome to the Ben Bosscher Show, everybody. Happy Thursday. One day away from Friday, which means it's almost the weekend.
Yeah, baby.
We've arrived. Welcome in, everybody. Hope everybody. What's complaining? That's one way to look at this. The other way to look at it would be, okay, Monday. Still kind of worried about the three-point shooting that was on display, or I guess the lack of three-point shooting that was on display against the Spurs. Because I'm not going to lie, I did take a little bit of a hit in terms of my ego talking about this Pistons team. My confidence level took a pretty big hit on Monday because you have this 7'4" phenom sitting in the paint. You're not going to be able to score there. Okay, you got to rely on the outside shot a little bit. And as soon as the Pistons had to do that, they fell apart. They're not a three-point shooting team. They're not a high-volume three-point shooting team. They're not an efficient three-point shooting team. And they cleaned a lot of things up against the Thunder on Wednesday. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you, well, because they beat the Thunder's B team, I suddenly feel a lot better about them after I did on Monday. Like, to me, they're still in first place. They still have a lot of great things going for them. I'd still ultimately pick them to win the Eastern Conference, I think. But I like, if there's a pendulum swinging on an 82-game season, you're never going to feel the same way about a team week in, week out. You're going to go back and forth, and it's going to swing in different ways. Right now, I'm a little bit more swinging towards, oh, man, I don't know if they can overcome the shooting. I don't know if what happens if a team in the playoffs decides, you know what, we're just not letting Cade Cunningham beat us. Somebody else has got to do it. All right, we're going to full court press him the same way that the Spurs did. We're going to double team him every opportunity we can. We're going to trap him as often as we can, and we're going to force someone else to beat us. And I trust Cade Cunningham to give the ball up and let the Pistons play in a 4-on-3 situation if he's getting double-teamed. I trust that. But do I trust the other players on this team to create offense for others or get themselves buckets? Tobias Harris, Asar Thompson being the main creators for this team? Not necessarily. And I think the broadcast showed a stat last night that kind of caught me off guard. I didn't realize how reliant the Pistons are on Sir Duncan Robinson. I didn't understand this. So the Pistons are 30-6 when he hits 3+ threes. They're 30-6. So when he hits 3 threes, they're the best team in the NBA. When he hits 2 threes or less, they're 12-7. Above average. Better than mediocre, but nothing crazy. 31% he's shooting from behind the arc in losses. 43% he's shooting in wins. If you have to be that reliant on Duncan Robinson to win games, win playoff series, it makes me a little bit nervous. So right now, the pendulum, at least for me, is a little bit more swinging towards the, oh man, this team is awesome, but they might just be a regular season juggernaut, play harder than everybody else, but they ultimately have flaws. Now, the thing that you and I are going to keep always going back and forth on and that we can debate about the rest of the season is who's going to beat them. You look around the East, They've already shown that the Knicks aren't going to be that team. They've already shown that the Charlotte's not going to be that team. So is it the Cavs, who they play tomorrow? Is it going to be the Celtics if Tatum comes back? That's what's in favor for the Pistons. But when it comes to like this team specifically, yeah, I do think they have one of the most valuable players in the NBA. I think they have a top 5 guy in Cade Cunningham, face of the franchise type of player. Jalen Duren gets better every night. Who do you trust outside of that if they're going to take away Cade Cunningham? That's to me where I start to feel like the Pistons are maybe a little bit more one-dimensional than you'd like for a team that you're picking to go to the conference finals.
Yeah, I mean, the Duncan Robinson stat, which I'm just now learning, by the way, that the whole Sir Duncan thing isn't that like a Game of Thrones thing?
That is 7 Kingdoms, baby.
Yeah, I just found that out, so good for you. Yeah, that stat is for sure alarming, just because, you go back to last year's playoffs, and it was like, man, Malik Beasley, the games that he shot the ball well, they won in the playoffs, and then he didn't show up in most of the playoff games, and it obviously didn't work out in the Pistons' favor, and so it's pretty easy to look at the lone high-volume shooter on the Pistons, which technically there's another guy who is on the team that's a hypothetical high-volume three-point shooter.
Oh, you
Kevin
mean the
Huerter.
guy they traded for who doesn't play?
Correct,
That guy?
That hasn't necessarily worked out for the Pistons very well. So it's still just Duncan Robinson and everybody else as far as the shooters go on this team. And yeah, it's absolutely a concern, but it's not like a new concern, right?
No, the broadcast showed the stat in his wins versus losses, the 31% versus the 43%, and I was like, oh my God. And I went and looked at, okay, if he hits 3 threes, what's the Pistons record? I couldn't believe it. If he hits 3 threes, the game's over. They usually win because they just don't have anybody else that can hit him at a high volume.
No, I'm not trying to be rude here, but
sure,
duh. Right? Like, they're one guy that shoots threes really well. When he makes a lot of them, they win. When he doesn't, they lose.
Yeah.
It's just, I guess, I think it speaks more about not the importance of Duncan Robinson, but the, need of someone else to step up as a shooter, right? And I don't know if they have that because we're at the point now where we can't do the whole, well, they need to acquire someone that can be a three-point shooter with Duncan Robinson because obviously they can't unless Chris Middleton on the buyout.
Yep. I was just going to bring Chris Middleton up.
But, is he about to come in and shoot 6 threes a night? No. So
probably not, no. So, probably 4 or 5.
Right, exactly. So they essentially just need someone to be a more reliable three-point shooter. And,
but I can tell you right now, Kyle,
who is it?
Yeah, who is that?
Right.
Is it Tobias Harris in, year 13 of his NBA career? He's just going to become
halfway
a higher
through the
volume?
season? Yeah, exactly.
They don't have the extra shooter.
They don't.
Your best-case scenario is Chris Middleton joins the rotation and hits 2 threes a night. That's best-case scenario. The three-point shooting is just not there, and we have seen in recent history the Thunder last year make the finals without having a strong three-point shooting playoffs. We've seen it. So it's not like it's impossible.
Totally. When you have the defense to back it up, too, like the Pistons
Correct.
do, it helps keep them in all of these games. Even when you aren't shooting the ball well, if you defend the three-point line well and just overall have good defense and get a lot of points out in the break, like the Pistons have done. If there is a formula to win without shooting, it's that. But, winning without shooting in general is just very difficult to do.
It's the combination of winning without shooting plus not having another creator on the team. Sans Cade Cunningham. It'd be so nice to have a Dennis Schroeder on the team. The guy that they traded for last year who wasn't scoring at a super high volume, wasn't taking a ton of threes.
But closed a lot of games.
But you could trust to just have out there as a guy to bring the ball up the floor and just start something. Even if it's bring the ball up the floor and just engage a defender and then pass it off to the next guy and that's all he does. They don't really have anyone else like that on the team. And I think in theory it's supposed to be Asar Thompson. Asar got benched on Monday. And I'm always going to be anti-benching Asar Thompson, and he's been a lot better of a facilitator the last week or so. He's racked up the assists. So, yeah, that's a possibility. But if teams are going to be able to just sit whoever's guarding Asar Thompson in the paint, say, knock yourself out, man, it leads to a rarely frustrating situation. And the other problem that you can kind of throw into that, too, is, okay, if they're that reliant on Duncan Robinson to hit his threes, what happens in the playoffs when it just becomes a hunt fest on Duncan Robinson on defense and you're almost forced to take him out of the game? The issue is you can't, so you're just going to end up leaving him out there, and then he becomes one of the biggest mismatches on the floor. I'm not trying to pump pessimism into the air with this Pistons team because what's the one thing that I think trumps basically everything in basketball is the cohesion, is the togetherness, the thing that Isaiah Thomas talked about so often. The secret of basketball is not about the basketball. It's about the selflessness of it. And I think the Pistons have that better than anybody across the league. So that would be the number one reason I'd be like, okay, I still think they can go to the NBA Finals. And then the second reason would be the defense. The third reason would probably just be Cade Cunningham's an unsolvable player because anything you throw at him, he's just going to be able to figure out. But again, this team hasn't won a playoff series before. So to have that sort of confidence in them, you can talk yourself into all the reasons being concerned. So back to my original point, they win last night against the B squad of the Thunder. Do you feel better about them after last night's win? My answer would be not really. They lost on Monday. A lot of red flags popped up, and I'm not going to be won back over, and the pendulum's not going to swing back towards the optimism side. And again, I'm not saying like I don't believe in this team. That's not. We're bringing up issues. My pendulum's not going to swing in favor of the optimism just after beating that B team Thunder, in which they had to like fight them off at the end. They should have won by more.
Totally. And yeah, like you said, I mean, it's no Jalen Williams, no Shea. Obviously, it's a much worse Thunder team.
No, Chet too out of nowhere.
Yeah. So like
by the way, that team is soft for that. Play your guys. Even if
it sounds like Shea might come back in their next game too.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Like, yeah,
play your guys.
It actually on national TV too. I saw already an article that's saying like potential finals preview is just like melt. Like it was basically saying what a major disappointment for what could have been a finals preview.
At least the Spurs showed up. At least the Spurs showed up.
Yeah, exactly. But speaking about this tough week that the Pistons had, and we've been talking about this for a while, like the Cleveland game is the one that you're circling just because, and I know the Spurs one was like, oh, like this is a fun, like they're the team you are scared of the most in the finals.
Well, you're going to confirm. It's still true.
Gonna have to play the Cavs before you even get there.
Yeah.
You know, and they're also like the hottest team in the East right now, so they're the team that everyone's picking to go to the finals, especially after Detroit lost on Monday. And so, yeah, that's the game that I'm looking at the most. But like you mentioned the things that why you would still be confident in Detroit. And the number one thing for me is just that, and that it's hard to balance this with the fact that they haven't won a playoff series yet. This team still just doesn't lose multiple games in a row. It's become such a result-oriented thing with them. They have not lost 3 in a row all year, and they have not lost back-to-back games since 2025.
Yeah,
we're in the
December
big
26th and December 28th, Utah and LA West Coast trip.
We're 2 full months into the season, or into 2026, and they haven't lost 2 in a row. Like, I understand, yeah, they're playing OKC without their guys last night, whatever. They just don't lose back-to-back games. Like, in a playoff series, losing back-to-back games is like losing the series. You know, you can't lose back-to-back games. The Pistons are the one team that doesn't. Like, so balancing that for me, like, that I think is the number one reason why I'd be like, you know what, I just do trust this team still. It wasn't pretty, sure. They didn't do it the way that maybe you'd want them to with the shooting and with a bad OKC team. They still just don't lose back-to-backs.
Yeah, their schedule the rest of the season is significantly harder than it was at the beginning of the year. Because if you remember, like, that schedule in November, December was almost laughable. They played all the bad West Coast teams.
That's why we were talking about, like, are they going to win 65 games this year or whatever?
Which, I don't know, it's not inconceivable the way that they're playing and the way that they don't lose 2 in a row. But if we're doing toughest schedule remaining, the Pistons are still 20th, which is almost a little bit surprising because even the next couple of weeks, you got Cleveland twice, you got San Antonio again next Thursday. Later on in the year, you still got to play Minnesota twice. You still got to play OKC again as well, the Sixers a couple of times, Golden State, LA. Like, there are some tough matchups still on the schedule. So we'll see if they can keep that 2-loss or that 0-3 loss streak up. I kind of have confidence that they will.
I think so too. Like,
they just rile themselves up enough to where you just don't feel like they're going to lose again.
Their defense just makes it the most it seems like it's impossible for them to lose multiple games in a row based off their defense.
Yeah, it does. And what, Isaiah Stewart comes back Sunday?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, he's out for the 7th game on Sunday, and then he plays Cleveland on Tuesday because they've got 2 games in Cleveland against Cleveland here in the next.
That's big that he's
5
at least
games.
back for that game. Yeah.
And then he'll be back versus San Antonio, and then we actually get a finals preview between the Spurs and the Cavs, or the Spurs and the Pistons next Thursday, the rematch.
I tell you what, Spurs-Pistons, I think you guys talked about this on Tuesday, would be so good for the league.
I'm 100%
as far as a
with
finals matchup, but it would be the most like non-historic finals matchup ever from the fact that it's two young teams that just have no playoff success both going to the finals.
Well, they both kind of like
that's never happened.
They both have the 2005.
That's not what I meant.
Preview.
I just mean like the fact that like, you know, we talked about this with the Pistons. Like you kind of have to go on some sort of playoff run before you go to the finals, just as a young group. If it was Spurs Pistons in the finals, neither team with their current core has won a playoff series. The Spurs haven't even made the playoffs with their current core. Like, yeah, I think they're so weird.
They're the exception to that rule though, because they legitimately might have a top 10 player of all time, just like in year 3 walking around. It's crazy to say, but at the same time,
crazy praise for Stephon Castle, dude.
It's ridiculous to say, but like, I mean, we saw it on Monday. The Pistons couldn't score in transition, and when it was in the half court, Cade is so good at manipulating defenses and just kind of getting into his mid-range and controlling that part of the floor to where he can move guys around, and then he gets a guy to come to him. He throws the lob to Duren. He couldn't do any of that stuff with Wemby on the floor because Wemby doesn't have to commit to one person or the other, so he can just kind of hang out in the middle between and take away the lob and Cade's mid-range shot by not committing to one or the other. He just wrecks the way that offenses work. Cade couldn't figure it out. It was the worst game Cade's played all year, or at least one of them, and it was because Wemby just messed with his mind, even if he wasn't blocking him over and over again. He does the same thing to Shea. It's truly incredible. So yeah, like maybe they haven't won a playoff series yet or even made the playoffs. I'm all in on this Spurs team to wreck teams' hopes and dreams in the playoffs. I'm all in on the Pistons to hopefully wreck some spirits in the Eastern Conference because I think the biggest thing, like more so than the defense, more so than the fact that there's an MVP candidate on the team, you look around the East, who am I supposed to be afraid of? James Harden's Cavaliers? No. The Celtics with Tatum? Okay, maybe you can start to talk me into it, but can I see him play first before I'm ready to just be scared of them? 989-837-6125. Feel better, feel worse, feel the same about the Pistons after their win last night against the first-place team out west, the Oklahoma City Thunder. Pistons still have the best record in the NBA. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, live here on 100.9 The Mitt. I basically said my last name wrong there. Bosscher. Ben Bosscher Show.
That's a new high for you, man.
Saying the last name wrong?
Yeah, saying the last name.
Iron Stack Technology brings you the 9 o'clock hour. They help businesses solve real tech problems securely, efficiently, and without the headache. When your IT is working the way it should, everything else gets a heck of a lot easier. Iron Stack Technology, solution-driven, mission-focused. You can find them online at ironstacktechnology.com.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
(989-837-6125). Are you more impressed with the Pistons after their win last night against the Thunder's B team? I say no. Not that like there was red flags about yesterday's game. They just didn't win me back over after Monday's loss, where there was a bunch of red flags that popped up. Red flags that have existed this entire season, but were on full display on Monday, and it kind of just swung my pendulum a little bit towards there are some problems on this team. Do you feel was there anything that you can take away from yesterday's game that was like, wow, this team, like, you learned something new about them?
I mean, no. Yeah, definitely not. But I do think, at
this point in the year.
Exactly. I don't think there's really going to be any game like that. Now, if they beat Cleveland up Friday and then go to their place next week and beat them up again, then I'm really going to have the opinion of, no one in the East is stopping this team. Because you just can't make the case for New York right now.
No.
I mean, obviously.
They're broken.
Sure, they beat you last year in the playoffs. That team, I've never seen something flip as in one season as far as a two-team matchup goes. The Pistons just own that team.
Yeah, broken spirit, soft players. They're not losing to that.
Boston, I'm not saying that the Pistons are for sure going to handle them, but there's just too much going on there where I'm just I'm not feeling confident in Boston. Certainly they could beat Detroit, but I'm not sitting here afraid of the Celtics by any means.
The math worries me in that series, just where
they just shoot so many threes.
It's incredible, and if they're going in one night, I just don't think the Pistons can hit enough volume shots to hang in there.
They have the MVP too, Ben. So it's what that's been the latest push in the NBA circle. Jaylen Brown MVP.
Cade Cunningham's still top 3 in odds, by the way.
Sure. And then the other team that you just don't really know about yet because the Pistons haven't faced off against this new version of them is Cleveland.
Yeah.
And so that's the team that coming up Friday and next week, I'm super excited for those matchups because then I can have a little bit of a takeaway of, oh, yeah, the Pistons are for sure running through the East. Or, oh, man, Cleveland, please don't be the 4 seed or else we're screwed.
The only thing that I still, feel like I learn a little bit more about the Pistons on a game-to-game basis is, Jalen Duren's just so good. And this isn't, a new take. He was an all-star. I'm not the first person to say this. But it doesn't really matter who the other team's center is. Even when it's Wemby, it feels like this guy is so strong and has just the chest and the upper body of an ox that nothing stops him from getting to the rim when he goes up with 2 hands off of 2 feet. He's just a bull down there. Not in a way where it's you drive to the paint and just knock guys out of the way like a bowling ball and bowling pins, but in a way where he's just so powerful when he goes up to the rim. Last night, I know it was backup centers and backup players. It just didn't matter. Monday, it didn't matter. He has these games where it's oh, my God, is he going to go for 35 tonight? And it's not like he's just pure scorer, but he's so dominant down in the paint. So when he does score 30, it feels almost like it's 40. And yesterday was one of those games, certainly in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, he just continuously on a night-to-night basis shows off the physical dominance that he has over most other bigs in the league.
He's 6'9", and nobody can get a rebound over him.
And then he also just brings, of course, the presence of oh my God, if I get in this guy's way at all, is he going to want to fight me? When he put his finger in the face of Keldon Johnson in the Spurs game.
Yeah, there's a lot of film of that going around right now. Trying to dissect what people were saying.
Right, yeah, of course. I don't think that was much of a thing at all. But, yeah, he just brings such a fear factor, and that's without beef stew. So
he loves putting his finger in people's faces. It's kind of crazy. He does it every night now. Or he just puts it, he's
too.
Don't do that. And the other guy's okay, sorry.
Do you remember the one play? I think this was last year when Jordan Poole was still on the Wizards. When there was a little bit of a scuffle going on, and Poole tried getting involved, and he comes up and pushes Jalen Duren, and then Duren just turns around and looks at him and starts walking at him, and Poole just got out of there.
He was yeah, I'm sorry.
Duren just had a big smile on his face while he was doing it. Are you serious right now, man?
Him and Cade have to be so combined. How much do we think they outweigh what they're listed at? Because we've already discussed this with Cade. He's listed at 220.
Yeah,
we think
he's at least 235.
235, 240.
Duren probably is more accurate though.
He's listed at 250. I don't know, man. I think he might be 260, 265.
Yeah.
They both might be 15 pounds. Combined 30, 40 pounds heavier than they're listed at.
Which would be pretty crazy, yeah. But I think that whole part of it all, putting it back into the playoffs thing for Detroit, is we can talk about, Charlotte and the Pistons kind of have this little bit of a rivalry brewing. The Pistons and the Knicks have this rivalry brewing. Bro, they could be playing the local team in the YMCA, and they would have a rivalry with them. Like, it does not matter who the Pistons play in the first round, in the second round, whoever they play against.
Yeah, they'll find a way to
We're
hate the
going to
guys.
leave that series and be like, oh, there's like a new rivalry here with them.
Yeah.
Because that's just how the Pistons play. They get up for every team. It doesn't matter who it is, and they want to dominate them physically and mentally too, because they want to get in their heads. So that's what I'm most excited about, is just to get multiple, of course, assuming the Pistons can win their round one matchup, multiple series against different teams and seeing how that rivalry brews.
Number one team in the first round you probably wouldn't want to see. Maybe Orlando, just because they've been there, done that, but and we haven't really seen the Pistons play Orlando yet. But I don't. That's a team that's looked kind of off all year.
Yeah, I mean Miami's always just like the 8 seed Miami Heat. They went to the finals as the 8 seed.
Miami doesn't do it for me this year.
I don't think so either.
I changed my answer. If the Bucks somehow squeak in and
Bucks.
Giannis is playing, it's probably just them, even though the rest of their team is garbage.
And I just don't think the Bucks are even going to make the play-in. Like,
One
just
game
based
out
on
from the
teams
10
that are
seed
all
right
there. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on the Mitt. Bresky Siding and Building Repair presents you our show today. The experts who do the job right the first time. Whether you've got a leaky roof, storm damage, maybe the siding on your home is looking a little tired, Bresky's got you covered. Locally owned, trusted, and dedicated to keeping Midland area homes safe and looking sharp. Quality materials, skilled craftsmanship, and service that puts your family first. Don't wait for the next storm. Call Bresky Siding and Building Repair today and keep your home strong for years to come.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100. on 100.9 The Mitt.
Let's flip gears here. Detroit Lions, I like coming out of the combine like the first few days. You just get to hear a lot of the coaches, a lot of the GMs talk and find out things that you've been wondering about the teams. Kelvin Sheppard, did you see this? Had a fascinating comment about Terrion Arnold, who's been in the news a lot over the past couple of weeks and also just stays in the news a good amount for a player that hasn't really accomplished all that much in the NFL. Shep was quoted saying, "I need him to be quiet and play. Kid has a great heart. He wants to be great, but I told him there's a difference between talking about being great and actually being great." Yeah, I think that's kind of a perfect way to sum up Terrion Arnold's career. I don't think he's been a total bust. I thought he put some good stuff on tape when he was healthy last season, but he's struggled to stay healthy. And his talking game is like a 10 out of 10. You'd think he's one of the best corners in the NFL. You'd think he's like prime Jalen Ramsey. He's not. And I'm kind of with Shep on this one. Not to do the shut up and dribble bit, but
shut up and guard a wide receiver.
We need a little bit less quotes from him talking about how he's the best corner in the league or is going to be very soon. What was the quote he had at the beginning of training camp last year? It's like, I am the best corner in the league very shortly. It's like, all right, man, let's be like the 10th best corner in the league before we're ready to say we're the best corner in the league.
Starting corner in the league.
Yeah, let's do that first. I'm not like sitting here pounding my fists like, yeah, I'm with you, Sheppard. But like at the same time, the Lions desperately need Terrion Arnold to be a better version of himself than we've seen the first 2 years. They needed him to be a better version of himself. He was his rookie season last year. And like I said, he was when he was playing, but so many injuries. And then it ended up just keeping him out of the second half of the season. So kind of a make or break year for the kid.
Yeah, I think so too. And we've talked about this, like you said earlier this offseason, it wasn't a guarantee that Terrion Arnold was a starting corner on this team. And whether or not, like, I think if the Lions had less, positions up for grabs, I think I would agree with you. But they do have a lot of needs. But, like, that just speaks to just the current state of Terrion Arnold in general, right? Just how he hasn't necessarily panned out as the Lions' first-round pick. And right now in the Brad Holmes era, that's like the lone first-rounder, right?
Yeah. TBD on Tyleek, but I think we all liked what we saw from Tyleek last year in that role. But yeah, he is kind of the lone first rounder that hasn't like hit the ground running. Right,
and yet he, and I respect it. To be a cornerback in this league, we literally talked about this yesterday. Like, it's such a tough position.
You gotta have confidence.
You have to have confidence, and you have to be like you have to be kind of arrogant. Like, yes. You just do. It's part of what comes with the position. I mean, you look at the greats at that position; they're the most talkative, trash talk guys there is.
Yeah, you have to do it because you're gonna take L's.
Absolutely. And so I respect his mindset, but like you said, the play has not nearly matched it at all. Like, there hasn't even really been moments. I thought he was fine when he came back from injury last year. Like, he showed improvements, I guess.
Yeah, he wasn't holding someone every time they threw a deep
he wasn't
ball.
Leading the league in pass interference calls or anything like that. But
so
yeah,
low bar.
Right, low bar for sure. I love what Sheppard has to say, though. Like, I'm a big fan of it. Shep has clearly been a player's coach since being with the Lions, whether that was when he was the linebackers coach or being the DB or the defensive coordinator. And yet when he, as the player's coach, has a statement like this, that shows, one, that how much the guys respect him, because you can say something like this and not be just hated on by your own guys.
Yeah.
So clearly he has the backing of the guys in the locker room. But two, like, he's not afraid to say stuff like this. It's obvious, man. Arnold has to be better. And if he wants to have a podcast with the best cornerback in the league, maybe he should try to be one of the best cornerbacks in the league.
Yeah, the podcast, I mean, that's crazy that exists, especially after one season. I think it's interesting, too, because if Shep is saying it, then he's clearly not the only person inside the Lions organization that thinks this. Like, there's probably been some internal conversations about Terrion Arnold's behavior. Not that it's been poor, but, like, again, there's just arrogance is a good thing at that position, but there's also a sense of putting in the work, and not to claim that he doesn't, but like being able to back it up in some way, and he hasn't been able to do that in any way. And now he's involved in whatever's going on in this Florida incident with his home that he owns and his cousin, and security guard. What is going on?
Yeah.
I don't think anybody knows what's happening there.
Just shouldn't talk about it until we kind of know what's going on with that whole situation. But yeah, like it is just Terrion Arnold's name still being in the news, you know?
Yeah, which has kind of been the summary of his entire career of he has a lot of things to say, everyone else. And when you have a lot of things to say, like people are going to have a lot of things to say about you. And when you have a lot of things to say and you're kind of the reason that the Lions, it's not like he's holding them back, but remember how much gas we were pumping up his butt during during training camp about how, this is the guy that's going to break out. All the beat reporters were talking about it. All the coaches were saying he looks physically different. And then the season started and he was fine. Like, it's not like he was some breakout superstar. Jack Campbell ended up being the breakout superstar, but like all the preseason pieces after camp were, watch out for Terrion Arnold year 2. And that jump didn't really happen.
And I thought it was a fair jump to talk about, right?
The way the coaches were talking about him.
The guy was taken in the first round of the draft.
Yeah.
Like, they traded up for him. He was widely known as like, this guy's an elite corner. You look at the other guys in that draft, you look at the other corners taken in the first round in the last 5 years, like, it was pretty obvious. All the signs pointed to like, this guy's going to be a for sure hit. It's going to work out. And it has not worked out yet. Not saying that it can't work out, but like it feels like 2026 is the year where if it doesn't work out now.
Yeah, it's a make or break year for him.
I would agree.
In terms of the other corners that were taken in that draft class, Quinyon Mitchell was taken 2 picks ahead of him.
He's a stud, man.
Yeah, that'd be a nice guy to have on the team. And I know he's taken ahead of him, but like the Lions traded up to go get Terrion. Could have traded up and gotten two more picks
Arnold
higher.
more than Mitchell too. That's the toughest part.
Mac
Products,
Nate
Quinyon
Wiggins.
Mitchell too. Yeah,
Nate Wiggins is the other corner that got taken in the first round. Those were your 3 guys who's playing over in Baltimore and having a nice career for himself. But yeah, man, it hasn't been great for Terrion the first couple of years. And I think the way that Sheppard puts it, again, the quote is, I need him to be quiet and just play. Kid has a great heart, wants to be great, but I told him there's a difference between being great and talking about being great and actually being great. I think it's time for the podcast to come to an end. I think it is. I think I'm just good on player podcasts during the season if you're not like an all-pro player. And even when you are an all-pro, I was going to say, even when you are an all-pro player, it can get a little old.
Had Goodell on the podcast the other day. Like, kind of wild. Just a commish.
But like when he's doing his podcast after the Lions have lost their 8th game, it's like, really, dude?
Yeah.
It just gets a little old.
It just only works out when you're winning. It's that simple. It's like Draymond's show. Like, Draymond still does his podcast right now. I saw he did an episode the other day talking about, like, are the Spurs the team to beat in the West? And it's like, dude, you play in the West. You play in the West right now and are trying to make the playoffs. Like, it's just a random thing to have going on. Yeah.
And then it becomes like a priority more so than, it's a distraction nonetheless. Whether it's entertaining, whether you're making money doing it, it becomes a distraction in some way. For Terrion, I would say that's a guy who probably needs a lot less distractions going on in his life. 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mitt. Hey, before we take a quick timeout and get to the Mitt Morning Catch, when we come back, do want to tell you about the Greater Midland Community Center, your hub for health, wellness, and fun right here in the heart of Midland. Got to pick up basketball. Not even pick up. Rec League basketball game there tonight. Excited about that.
10 p.m. or no?
This one's at 9:15.
Okay.
So not quite as bad. From fitness classes to open gym, swimming, youth sports, family activities, there's something for everybody. Affordable memberships, expert staff, and a welcoming space for all ages and abilities. If you're hosting an event, ask about their rental spaces, full-service event support. Stay active, stay connected, all under one roof at the Greater Midland Community Center. Learn more or sign up today at greatermidland.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Welcome back in. It is time to let everybody know what's going on in the world of sports. Kyle, take it away with the news.
The Mitt's Morning Catch.
Okay, let's do it on this Thursday, the Mitt Morning Catch. First off, let's look at the community calendar, as always, presented by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. Boys high school basketball districts got kicked off last night, so I'm just going to quickly rip off, let you know how our local teams did and if they'll be playing in the district finals or not. Midland Dow, they beat Cadillac. They're going to play Mount Pleasant in their district final. Both Saginaw Heritage and United won last night. They're going to face off in the district final Friday. I believe John is going to be on the call for that one right here on 100.9 The Mitt. Freeland in the D2 World beats John Glenn. They're going to face Garber in their district final. Meridian and Pinconning, they will play in the district final Friday. And then Saginaw Nouvelle advances. They will face Mount Pleasant Sacred Heart in their district final.
Shout out Freeland head coach John Fattel, who's my coach when I was a freshman and a sophomore over at Rockford.
That's cool.
Good luck to the Falcons.
Yeah, I'd say hopefully Freeland, they have had a pretty good season, so hopefully they can go far in the playoffs. All right, tonight, Michigan State versus Purdue. Woo! Tonight at 8 on Peacock. MSU's got back-to-back road games here in the state of Indiana, Purdue, and then they'll face Indiana on Sunday. But, man, it has not been a great history for the Spartans playing in Mackey Arena lately, just in the last several seasons. I can't remember if I asked you this or not, Ben, so I'll just do it right now. Last time the Spartans won in Mackey, I think we did this.
2014?
Yeah, okay, yeah, we did. It was 2014. They've lost 7 straight there. They've lost 9 of 11 versus Purdue just in general. And tonight, the Boilermakers are 7.5-point favorites. It's pretty high, right?
It's pretty high, yeah. But at the same time, like, Michigan State, what have they shown as of late that it should be any less than that?
Nothing. Purdue, run a zone. You're going to win.
Isn't this kind of what Sparty does? Like, they lull you to sleep this time of year to where, like, they come out of the gate, they're playing strong. In January and December, they're playing their best ball. And then they always hit this lull where it's like, oh, my God, here we go again. This team has a ceiling.
Right. They didn't really do it last year. Like, last year, they kind of were just solid the whole season.
Last year, it was the back-to-back losses on the West Coast trip.
But that was early, though, right? That was, like, towards the start of the calendar year.
Was it?
And then they got hot at the end of the year. Yeah, they beat Purdue last year, obviously swept Michigan. This season, they've clearly separated themselves into that not top tier of teams in all of college basketball, which there's more, I think, elite-tier teams this year than there usually is.
Yeah, shout out to the Big 12.
Right, exactly. But even in the Big Ten, like, tonight will be a tell of, where they sit as far as the rankings of the Big Ten go. Because even when we thought, oh, man, Michigan State, like, they lose to Michigan, they lose to Minnesota, this team, I don't know. Then they just beat Illinois, who a lot of people feel is the second best team in the Big Ten. So, like, I don't know. Tonight's going to be big. If they could upset Purdue at their place, like, it would be a huge win at the end of the season for the Spartans.
It's not like Purdue and Mackey has been a superpower for them this year. It's not like they've been this unbeatable force at home. So, we'll see.
I mean, they've lost several games at home, which is unheard of for Purdue. Losing 2 games at home in the same season,
they
pretty
lost
crazy.
to Michigan. They lost.
They lost to Iowa State earlier in the year.
Iowa State at home. Okay.
And those are their two. But they had it was their biggest loss ever when they lost to Iowa State at home. They lost by like 40.
Iowa State's nasty.
They are pretty
They're
nasty.
just a matchup nightmare because of the 5-wide stuff.
And they're huge, too. And they have the best three-point shooter, like, in college basketball history this year. So, okay, more stuff going on in the news. But, yeah, that's tonight at 8, by the way. You can also listen to it here on 100.9 The Mitt. We will have the coverage there starting at 7. Also back tonight, Red Wings back in action at 7. They are in Ottawa to face the Senators. Do we think Dylan Larkin's done celebrating? Did we come to that conclusion, or are we maybe?
I would hope so.
This morning
being
still
Thursday, he's sobered up, and I would hope by game time he's 24 hours.
Thirsty
sober.
Thursday, you never know. Like
smug night,
right? Yeah.
Yesterday.
Nonetheless, though, excited for Red Wings to be back. One, because it gives Ben more options for lock of the day. Had a stretch of just no stuff going on there for a while.
Right.
But, 2, it's just been a long time since we've gotten to watch the Wings. So
yeah, it's been a minute. Oh, my God, that feels like so long ago, that last game against the Mammoth.
I mean, it's basically been 3 weeks. Yeah, so they're back in action tonight, and then they will be right back in action. I just had this pulled up. On Saturday, they got a road trip here. They're at Carolina Saturday and at Nashville on Monday. So 3 straight road games coming out of their little break here. Okay, more pitchers returning to baseball. Of course, we have Justin Verlander coming back to the Tigers. Pretty cool story. Another former Tiger is back, not with Detroit, though. Max Scherzer agrees to return to the Blue Jays for his 19th season. It was kind of up in the air whether or not Scherzer was going to return or not. Pretty up and down season for Mad Max last season. Ended up being pretty good down the stretch for Toronto. But, yeah, he's back, and he's still being paid by, I think, like 5 different teams, which is pretty hilarious.
Just the ultimate finesser. His agent needs a pay raise of some sorts. I don't know if it's Boris or not, but if you're ever getting paid by 3 or more teams, just good for you. I don't know how people manage to do that, but just good for you.
People always love to say that Tobias Harris, Bradley Beal, like those guys are like the biggest finessers for contracts ever in their NBA career, it's probably Max Scherzer, man. I mean, this guy's just got it done with so many different teams. So cool to see Scherzer back. Hopefully there's a game that lines up this year with Detroit
JV.
and Toronto, JV versus Scherzer. Might have to be there. No matter
that's
what.
That's iconic.
Even if it's on the road. You went to the Rogers Center last year.
Incredible venue.
Yeah, I might have to go if that's the case, because that's a game that I for sure have to see.
A little bit more of a drive than you might think.
Yeah, but
About
it's still
7 hours.
it's still pretty close compared to any other. Cleveland's close, but Chicago's kind of close. Outside of there, there's
those
not
two
many
are
close.
significantly closer than Toronto.
But I'm just saying, then you're going crazy far outside of those,
Sure.
mainly. So yeah.
I thought the Rogers Center was the best baseball venue I've ever been to. I haven't been to
How
a
many
ton.
have you been to? Yeah, exactly.
3. Tropicana's the worst.
Yeah, I
America
think
Park
Are they
second.
playing in? They're still not playing in Tropicana this year, right? I think the Rays are. I think they're
don't know. I
running
don't
it.
know.
That's a John question, because they were playing at the Yankees minor league stadium last year. So, who even knows what's going on with that franchise? Okay, we'll do a couple more things here in the news. Chicago Bears linebacker Tremaine Edmonds to seek a trade. He wants out because the Bears and him cannot come to an agreement on an extension. So the Bears are allowing him to seek a trade. Good news for the Lions, right? I mean, it's an impactful player on the Bears defense that wants out. Sure.
On the surface, yes. I think if they were to pay him, it'd be like one of those contracts where it's like, oh, that could screw him over in a couple of years. So it's probably the best decision for both teams if he does move on. By the way, Tampa Bay is planning to play in Tropicana Field this season.
Really? Okay. Because I was there earlier this year in November. Drove by it 3-4 times when I was down there, and there was just a lot of construction going on there. So I was like,
that hurricane
I don't
did
know
some
if this is
serious
finished or
damage to
not.
it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's
They
good.
should have just tore that thing down and
for sure
built a different, or just moved that franchise elsewhere.
Could have
'cause
just totally moved. Yeah.
There's no fans that are ever in that building.
No, it's just a mess of an organization.
I went there for an opening day for them. Opening day, the entire outfield section was closed off, and every batter that came up to bat was booed by the Yankees fans that were in attendance.
That's got to be
insane.
That's got to be especially in the months of April and May, and then when you come down the stretch, one of the more opposing team dominated crowds, right? Just
Probably
because
number one.
People exactly.
It's Florida.
It's Tampa. It's St. Petersburg.
Yeah,
it's a very popular vacation destination.
It's a popular
what's
vacation
something-
destination and just an old people destination where
Right.
they like to move.
What's something to
from
go
up north.
do? Oh, let's go watch a baseball game. The Baltimore Orioles are in town. Sure, it doesn't
There's
even matter
probably
who they're
more
playing.
Yankees fans that live in Tampa Bay greater area than there is Rays fans.
There's probably more than just the Yankees. There's probably a good amount of fan bases that have higher than that. Yeah,
The Tigers fans probably are more existent down there. Honestly,
it's pretty ridiculous. Last thing in the news, we're talking Yankees, so why not? We'll close this and you save the rest for later. CC Sabathia is getting his number retired here with the Yankees. His number 52 will be retired later this year. Nice.
when did he retire?
It's been 5-6 years.
Has it?
Yeah.
Huh.
Been a while.
I thought he had just been out of it the last couple of years, to be honest. Okay, that's gonna do it for
That's
the
it?
Mitt Morning Catch. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mitt. We'll get to the 10 o'clock hour here in just a moment. Before we do that, got to tell you about Dive and Glide. Explore the Great Lakes shipwrecks next summer by diving into adventure with Dive and Glide. Sign up for open water dive courses at diveandglideinc.com. Learn the skills, practice, and get certified. Whether you're a beginner or brushing up on your skills, they've got the classes to get you underwater with confidence. If you're already a pro, shop the best state-of-the-art gear online. I'm talking fins, regulators, masks, gauges, and more. Visit diveandglideinc.com and gear up for your next underwater adventure. That's diveandglideinc.com, Michigan's home for all things scuba.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9.
Electric Studios. This is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning, Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
All right, welcome back in. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mitt. You know, I was thinking last night as I was watching Cade, he has just blossomed into this, like, national superstar, best American in the NBA is the push that's been had for him. And it did make me wonder, like, from a superstar standpoint, not from a best player standpoint, but from a superstar standpoint, is he the number one guy in Detroit? Like, is he the most recognizable, fame, aura, as the kids say? Like, does he have the most amount of stardom of anybody in Detroit sports right now? And I think the answer is yes. And again, this isn't best, because if it was best, it'd be Penei Sewell. It would be Jack Campbell for how he played last season. But if I'm doing the 5 top guys with the most stardom, I think it starts with Cade. I think maybe this is prisoner of the moment. It definitely is. But Dylan Larkin for right now just kind of has to be 2. Him winning the gold medal and being part of this Team USA thing that won the first gold medal for the United States in 46 years. I feel like he just blossomed into something else over the past year or so, or the past month or so, I guess. So I'd have him 2. Amon-Ra and Gibbs, I'd have 3 and 4. They walk around as if they are superstars. Jameer does it in a very quiet way, where he just kind of walks around and you can just tell, oh, that guy's got something to him. Amon-Ra is a little bit, I mean, the way that the NFL uses Amon-Ra, like you alluded to, they had Roger Goodell on their podcast, the St. Brown brothers. They use him as, not a puppet's the wrong word, but they use him as a face, as a mouth to represent their league. They're going to Germany for a reason. It's because of Amon-Ra. So I'd have him 3, Gibbs 4, and Scooble 5, which people are probably going to be mad about, but I have a hard time putting someone higher on the list who I know is not going to be in Detroit a year from now. And there also is just something about, like, it's as recognizable as Tarek is, he probably does just blend in a big crowd in a way. Like, people would figure it out, but it's not like he's wearing the big jewelry and the chains. He's less of a superstar than the other guys, in my opinion. He's better than all of them at what he does, but he's less of, like, that star that shines bright.
So, man, this is tough. Scooble at 5, I think, is a little bit crazy. Like, this guy is
not going to be here a year from now.
Why do we keep doing that, though? Like,
it's true.
But, like, yeah, sure, it's true. We're doing top 5 superstars right now. Like, why are we taking in a year from now consideration? If we're doing a year from now consideration, then hell, I might throw some guy that's not even on one of the teams on the list, because we don't know.
Max Clark.
Yeah, I might put McGonigal on there. Like, yeah, Clark's a good one, actually.
Clark is more of a star than Scooble is in terms of, like, just, like, draws attention to him, brightness.
Sure, I guess.
That's true.
I mean, like,
he sticks out like a sore
the
thumb.
back-to-back Cy Young has less stardom than Max Clark.
Yes. Clark's got the tattoos. He's got the big glasses.
Just because he rocked 8 chains in the game yesterday, he's a bigger star?
I think he's
dude.
more – like, I'm not saying he's better than him, but there is something that Max Clark carries where it's like, oh, that guy just kind of draws attention to him. That's more so what I'm talking about. The recognizable, which Clark definitely is. Like, I
more than Scooble.
I think Cade is the most recognizable guy in Detroit.
We have to remember, like, what has just gone down with Tarek Scooble this offseason. As far as being in the spotlight and people talking about him and stuff going on in his life when baseball wasn't even going on, I mean, this guy had a whole arbitration case, ESPN, like, TV Dateline episode about this. Nobody else is doing that. Like, Scooble is in the news, man. He is talked about. I know that, like, baseball player is not, like, this big old, like, it's hard for a baseball player compared to an NBA or NFL guy to be, like, this huge star. But I think Scooble, like, is pretty up there, man.
He's in the top 5. I would consider that up there.
I think he's 2.
Behind you, so you agree with me that Cade is number 1?
I think Cade's 1. The timeliness of it totally matters here. I mean, he's been on ESPN an insane amount lately, whether that's just on, like, they're covering the games or it's on the talk shows. He's been on every talk show, talked about is he the best American star? That all that stuff. He's on the best team in the East, and he's the best player.
He's kind of being written in as the point guard for Team USA in 28, which it totally should be.
Yeah, like I would agree that Cade is definitely like the time of it matters the most here, because I think one of the Lions guys could take over. But also, I just think it is easier for NBA guys to be superstars.
Yeah, they're the face of their team.
Yeah, there's
the Lions
5
have
guys.
A lot of guys.
Yeah, there's 5 guys on the court at all times, and one of them usually dominates.
And they don't have helmets on or anything like that. You can recognize their faces from a mile away.
Absolutely. So I would think Cade's
and they're
one.
huge, by the way. Like that plays into it too. They're just
a good
way
point.
taller than everybody.
Cade's Cade's bigger than all of them. That's a good point.
Yeah.
What about Hutchinson? No Hutchinson on here. This one kind of threw me off a little bit. I'm not going to lie.
He does all the commercials, and he's
right,
in
that's
a
what
lot
I'm
of
saying.
stuff, but, like, I don't know. Do you think Hutchinson is cool the way that a lot of these other guys are cool? And I'm not saying, like, he's like...
We are at that point in the offseason, ladies and gentlemen. Do you think Hutchinson is cool?
Well, do you? Because I don't really think he's, like, cool.
Yes, he's cool,
famous.
bro.
He's famous, and he's awesome.
Dude, he
at
did the
football.
stanky leg after getting a sack. Like, he did the Michael Jackson, Billie Jean. Like, he is cool.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's uncool, but I think the other guys are just a little bit more cooler. Like, they rock the chains. They've got the cool outfits. I feel like Hutchins – I mean, you know what the most uncool thing is? And I got to do a little ear – still living at home's not that cool.
Oh, Ben. Oh, that's mean, Ben.
He makes millions of dollars. He is this insane – he's the highest paid edge rusher in football, and he still lives with his parents. It's a little odd.
Man, that's messed up. A certain someone's not going to be happy about that
but
one.
like that's different circumstances. If you got paid,
is he still actually living at home like currently
as
right
far
now?
as I know,
or was that
yeah.
just like a year one thing?
No, as of last season, he was still living at home. Maybe it's different now that he's gotten paid. But
Right. I mean,
it's
it's
not
not like
that
he wouldn't
cool.
be paying paid before, you know. Like
Good
he
night,
was
Mom. I just had 14 and a half sacks in the NFL.
Dylan Larkin not living at home, so that's why he gets the pass here. But like
Dylan Larkin having a gold medal,
for sure.
like I don't think he can be any lower than 2 in terms of the stardom, the coolness, the swagger. He has a nicer chain than anybody else on this list.
Ooh.
He's got the gold medal around his neck. He should just be wearing. If I won an Olympic gold medal, I would wear that thing everywhere. It'd be a part of my everyday wardrobe. Everything would have to go with the gold medal.
So So you're saying that the Dylan Larkin gold medal's cooler than the Max Clark 20 chains while he's rocking during the game? I mean,
I don't think it really gets
Did
cooler
you
than
see
wearing
Clark
a gold
the other
medal.
day? Like,
yes.
Like it was actually on. I think he had 8 chains on.
Yeah, there's a reason he couldn't catch routine fly balls. He was blinded by his own neck.
And you can't move around that well. I mean, like that. They're clanky and heavy, man. Like
he does of anyone on this list. Like if you were to just say, maybe it's Cade just because of the hype, but like, hey, who do you think who draws the most attention to themselves? It's without a doubt Max Clark. With the tattoo sleeves, the bleach blonde hair, and the glasses and the chains. He's cool.
Right.
Or at least he thinks
Yeah,
he's cool.
I think he thinks he's cool. I don't know if he actually is. He's cool with like the 10-year-old kids.
Yeah.
Which if that's the route you want to go, then like
Go for it, man.
Sure, bro. That you do you.
I think he's got to play his way in. There's like a real expectation.
Yeah, if he's
going to
good.
be meme-ified if he is not good.
Absolutely. He totally will be. But I think like, man, if we're talking about drawing attention to yourselves and being a superstar, I'm going right back to Tarek Skubal, man.
Okay.
Oh, the World Baseball Classic is here. This is fun. Team USA, we're going to have a great time. Yeah, I might pitch one game and then leave.
That's not cool. I wouldn't say that's cool.
That's not cool. Why are we even doing that? Like, what's the point of even announcing that?
Oh, so you're with me on this, that he shouldn't even be on the team in my eyes. Get off the team if you're not
I
going
don't
to
know
pitch
about
one
get
game.
off the team, but like, why even say that? Why even make a statement that you're going to do that? Just go there, be a part of the team and pitch, and then if you up and left, it'd be different. But like, why are we, like, before this thing is even started, you're just like, yeah, I know, it's pretty cool, but like, I'm just going to pitch one game and then leave.
There might be a little bit of a turn on Tarek Skubal with the Tigers fans at some point this season. I think it's already happening. I think this is like kind of ruffling some feathers.
Once again, man, I will continue to go back to, I just don't think it's that unreasonable to not want to pay a guy $40 million in 10 years from now. Like,
Yeah.
I just don't think it's that unreasonable for the Tigers to say that. I think Scott Boras is the devil, and I think that this probably is his, doing
the
here.
World Baseball Classic thing.
Absolutely.
I see. We can blame Scott Boras or Chris Ilitch or whoever for not wanting Tarek Skubal to pitch multiple games. If he wanted to represent the country and play for them, he would. Like,
I mean, he is.
We're not.
He is.
I don't think we can blame anybody else but Tarek
This is
Skubal
my
for
whole
only
thing.
playing in one game.
That's why I know this is now flipped to a Skubal thing, but like
it typically does. Maybe you're
that's
right.
why
Maybe he should be higher.
Right? This is why I'm saying he's a top. Like I think he's top 2 no matter what because he's
polarizing.
There's so many off the field things with Skubal to talk about. He's in the news more than any like Tigers or any Detroit person, I would say. Right?
Larkin's just like with what happens.
Sure, but
different.
But like the amount of different events that Skubal you can talk about with, and this thing, it's just like. Why can't he just go there, pitch a game, and then be like, man, this rocks, like being with these guys? He hasn't been a part of this yet. Like, why make up your mind right now that I'm going to go there, pitch one game, leave, maybe I'll show up if they're playing in the game just to be there? Like, what? Everyone else is giving up time in spring training.
Yeah.
I mean, some Tigers fans are taking the route of, like, I respect it because he's thinking about the Tigers before he's thinking about this.
Hell
Sure,
no. Put that aside, man. No Red Wings fan was like, nah, I'd rather Dylan Larkin stay home and think about the Wings. Forget that. No,
and the Wings
let's
are
go
in
win this thing.
the Wings are in the middle of the season. Like at least the Tigers, they're not even starting their season yet. You're not missing any games.
Right.
The Wings are in the middle of the year, and it's just like, boom, I'm going to go play for this and be awesome and win a gold medal.
No one batted an eye.
Absolutely.
But so why is it different than with Skubal? I don't understand. Like I'm genuinely upset about this. That he's like, yeah, I'll pitch one game against like Great Britain because it's going to be in one of these pool play games. He's going to pitch against Great Britain, who doesn't have a single player of note in Major League Baseball. He's going to go dominate them for 4 innings and then just go back to Lakeland. Why? Then why are you on the team? That's what I don't understand.
Yeah, once again, why I will say he is at least
you might have
top 2 on
convinced
this
me.
list, man. We talk about everything that goes on in this guy's life, and he's a baseball player. Pretty wild.
Yeah, you might have convinced me. He should probably be a little bit higher. 989-837-6125. Who's the biggest star in Detroit? And does the 1 seed matter to the Detroit Pistons? Obvious answer, yes. History says no. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live here on the Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Nine 837-6125. Let's see who people think is the biggest star in Detroit. Not the best player, but the star. Steve says the most decorated one is Tarek Skubal, so I'd say him and then Cade. Okay. People are saying Skubal should be higher. A lot of Cade and Tarek. That's from Michael. Tom says inclination was Cade Cunningham, both for success and being an MVP candidate, yet Larkin achieved a major goal with the Olympic gold medal, with the Olympic team, so I'd have to go with him. Yeah, the Larkin thing, how long does he get to ride this out for? Just forever, right?
Yeah, I think probably literally forever.
Yeah, gold medalist. What are you going to
maybe until the next Olympics, I guess, right? If
just
he
be on the team again.
But if he doesn't compete, then it's just like if they went the next Olympics and they lose and he's on the team, then I guess that's when he has to stop riding it out. But no, he gets this forever.
Texas says no one from the Tigers or Wings. That's for sure. It's got to be Tarek Skubal, or it's got to be Cade Cunningham.
I kind of get this take. If we are talking superstardom, it's just much easier to be it's much easier to be a superstar in basketball or football. It's just that simple. And if you are in football, you have to be the superstars. You
know who we're kind of forgetting about?
Jared Goff.
I
thought about throwing this in because this is similar to the conversation when we do the who's the most popular. I mean, I guess this is kind of the same thing. I still think or when we do the who's the face of the city.
Yeah.
That whole debate, I still to this day will argue that Jared Goff is the face of the Lions. He
over
is
Dan Campbell.
He's
over Amon-Ra.
Maybe Campbell. As far as if we were ranking who's the face of Detroit and the Lions representative, it's either Dan Campbell or Goff. I just feel that way. From a popularity standpoint, he's the quarterback of the team. It's just that simple.
Who's the number one trench guy in Detroit?
The number one trench guy?
The guy that you want in your trenches.
I mean, this is just the worst question you've ever asked. It's obviously Penei Sewell.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
I just wanted to give
built
Penei
that question
Sewell
for him. Yeah, you just built the question for him.
For the guy that plays in the trenches.
Yeah, I mean,
he's the number one guy that I if I want a bodyguard in my life at any point, if I ever
really over beef stew.
Ooh, yeah.
Right?
I think when it's said and done, though, Penei could really if those two.
Beef stew
if we got
bigger
those
than
two
Penei
guys
Sewell,
in a cage, not from a weight standpoint.
Well, yeah, but he's taller, yeah.
Significantly taller, but
I guess only by a couple inches though. Beef stew is only 6'8".
Yeah,
Penei Sewell's
Sewell's
6'6" or 7", probably, right?
Penei Sewell is 6'5", 335. Yeah, I'm taking Sewell.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Double bodyguard both of them.
If we were, I'd be able to say whatever I wanted, wherever I wanted, and go wherever I wanted.
I could get into any club. Yeah.
Yep. If we were to put two Detroit athletes into a UFC cage, is it Penei and Hutch, or is it just you can't even include Penei because he would just beat everybody? Maybe it's
Duran versus Stu would be pretty fun.
Ooh. Yeah.
Let's see how more extreme we can make this question. We've pivoted from top 5 superstars to
who do we want
to be our bodyguard? Yeah, exactly. We do have Pizza Man in the YouTube chat. He's on Larkin's page as well. It seems like.
Yeah, he just gets to ride that out for as long as he so desires.
Yeah.
The Red Wings can miss the all-time collapse in the later stages of the season, miss the playoffs entirely.
Suck.
And he'd be like, yeah, but I want a gold medal.
I still think even if the Wings went to the playoffs and anything outside of a Stanley Cup would be Larkin's, it would still just be winning the gold. It's the thing for him,
For sure.
If they won the Stanley,
it should be the highlight of his career.
If they won the Stanley Cup this year, then it would be more of a combination of both. Just wow,
he would go
this
probably
stretch.
to number one.
You're probably right.
In terms of the star,
yeah.
The Olympic gold medal goes such a long way. I don't think it's that crazy that it's more likely than not that the highlight of his career is scoring the goal in the semifinal game. And that's just the best moment of Larkin's career. And again, I don't think it's a bad thing.
No,
there hasn't been a gold medal USA team since 1980.
We did this whole thing with Steph Curry, man. Yeah. He might be the biggest, he's a top 5 superstar athlete of our lives. Not even close.
Probably top 3.
Exactly. A global superstar. And the best moment of his career came in the Olympics.
Yeah.
Like, it's that simple.
I don't think it's a knock.
I have one more name to throw out here for a superstar.
Sure.
I know you said top 5 superstars in Detroit, but like Bryce Underwood, man. Bryce Underwood is like, he is a really, as far as we're talking about popularity, a guy that gets talked about more than anybody. Like,
yeah,
Bryce Underwood is up there, man.
He has some spring football coming up. I think Bryce has a chance to get that high, but you kind of got to go out and prove it first in football. There's only so much the number one, like even a guy like Travis Hunter, who's super duper star.
How does Travis Hunter get brought up?
Like fades away pretty quickly. You get forgotten about very quickly if you're not playing well in football. The name can only take you so far. So I think Bryce Underwood's a good mention, but I don't think he's quite there yet.
Right.
He's not more popular than any of the guys we just named.
Right, but he's the most popular college guy in the state. No doubt about it. Like college guy, or I mean, like maybe Tom Izzo, you could say, just from a legendary coaching standpoint. But
yeah,
like
Izzo's more famous than
but like from
Bryce.
at the athletes though, I mean, it's Bryce for sure. He's bigger than any basketball player,
without a doubt.
Yeah.
So how much does the 1 seed matter for the Detroit Pistons? You would think yes. I would imagine having a home court advantage, Game 7 in LCA, it just leads to this incredible atmosphere. I thought even Monday against the Spurs when I was there was like a riveting experience with how it wasn't quite the viciousness level that it was in the playoffs against the Knicks, but you could feel it. There was a real buzz in the arena for a Monday night for a interconference matchup. Bill Simmons said it's one of the best home atmospheres in the NBA this season, or in all of sports right now. It is become a really fun place to play. So that would tell you home court advantage means something. In the last 10 years, how many Eastern Conference number 1 seeds do you think have made the finals?
Ooh, this is good. Because the East has just kind of been a hodgepodge of teams getting to the finals every year. You've had the 8-seeded Miami Heat getting there. The Pacers were like the 5-seed. I mean, the last 10 years, man, it's got to only be like 2 or 3, right?
2 in the last 10 years. And if we want to go the entire NBA, both conferences in the last 10 years, only 8 teams have made it all the way to the NBA Finals as the 1 seed. So 6 out of the 10 teams in the West. So a little bit more predictable on that end. In the East, it almost feels like being the 1 seed's
a curse.
A curse.
Who are the 2 teams that have done it?
It was the Celtics in 24 and the Cavs in 2016 with LeBron.
Wow.
Which like doesn't even count.
Right.
Because they had LeBron.
And that was 10 years ago.
Yes. Yeah. So the fact that there's been 1 in the past 9 years, I don't love that for the Pistons. Because in theory, like, yeah, of course the 1 seed's an advantage. But like, is it? Is it still an advantage in 2026? I don't actually know.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a ton of teams. I mean, even just if we want to keep it with the Pistons, their 2 wins in the playoffs last year came at MSG.
Yeah, they haven't. There still has been 0 home playoff wins.
They didn't win a game at home last year, and they went like Madison Square Garden playoff environment. It's supposed to be like the home court advantage, and the Pistons won 2 games there. Like, yeah, I think right now, like home court advantage has never been less of a factor than maybe ever. Like, it used to just be a guarantee. Even when we were, I mean, like, you want to go way back in, like, the 90s, like, in early 2000s, it was, home court advantage was crazy.
Why do you think this is? That it's less of an advantage now? I have a theory.
Let's hear it, because I don't really have one.
I think in the 90s, the 80s, you'd go on the road, and it was a lot of people's first time seeing their opponent. You could kind of be a little bit more vicious in the crowd. And now with social media and just seeing everything all the time, the fans are a little bit less into it. Plus, when you're an opposing superstar, you're in the NBA, like you see the online criticism all the time, so you just kind of learn to block that stuff out. And I think phones being in the arena is just a distraction to where the atmospheres aren't as good. They should take away phones in the playoffs in NBA arenas.
Take away phones.
It would never happen because people want to take pictures. And people
would
rage.
Have your phone to text people, or exactly.
It would never happen. But would it not lead to a better atmosphere inside the building if you didn't have a distraction of your phone? Kyle,
sure.
I went to the Pistons game on Monday, and the dude in front of me was watching NBA highlights on his phone while the game was going on, like old highlights. Then brain rot. Then just butts. Like he was just watching anything but the game. If you took phones away, people would actually be more engaged. So I think because of the phones, because of online criticism that these NBA players face all the time. They just learn to ignore that stuff, and it's not as vicious in these arenas anymore, which leads to home court advantage not mattering as much.
NBA highlights, brain rot, and butts. Dude just had the big 3 on his phone.
For an entire
Pistons
quarter,
game.
full volume was just swiping. Didn't
I mean,
look up
that's
once.
crazy. I do think, like, I don't think that the fans are less into it, like, now than it was in the past. Like, I mean, the home court advantages as far as the crowd pop goes,
I mean,
they're still great. Like, it's still an awesome crowd. I mean, think about,
Sure, but-
you went to the Pistons game last year in the playoffs.
Yes.
That was probably the best game
So
you've ever been to in
great.
your life.
Without a doubt. But if you look at, like, you go back and look at, like, NBA Finals games from go watch the Bad Boys. Like, the entire arena standing up the whole time. That doesn't happen anymore.
Sure. I guess you're right there. But I think the fans still, like, Pizza Man says your ticket's on your phone, so you couldn't get rid of phones. It's a really good point.
Yeah.
But I also think that, like, for me, if I had to pick a reason why I think it doesn't matter as much, it's strictly just about the travel. Like, being on the road has never felt more like being at home ever in the history of life.
5-star hotels.
You get the great
first-class
hotels.
flights.
You're used to traveling. These guys have been traveling for AAU. The guys in the NBA have been traveling for basketball since they're 14 years old.
Yeah.
Like that, like these guys don't just play high school basketball. They play AAU the full year long. Like, they're traveling every single weekend, driving 6 hours, going this place and that. Like, they're just used to it.
And
so
they get first-class flight, or not even first-class, but private jet
private flights. Like, I mean, and that's not different. That's the same way in every sport. But I just think that, like, it's never been easier to be a traveling team in the history of sport than right now. And it's only going to continue to be that way, So that's, I think, a big reason for it. Like, the travel effects just definitely aren't that major.
I obviously still want the Pistons to claim the 1 seed.
Yes.
But history would tell you that doesn't do the Eastern team any favors.
I'm not saying, like, would you rather face, if it goes down how it is right now, and Cleveland is the 4, Boston, New York are the 2-3, like, I might just want to rather face New York or Boston in round 2. Not saying I want the Pistons to fall to the 2 seed, but just from, like, what would be a better round 2 matchup.
Yeah, but then
I don't know.
You have to ask yourself, in the conference finals, if you get there, is it worth giving up home court advantage?
Right. Definitely not. You're right. And I do think also, actually, sign me up for it, because everybody's going to be picking the Cavs in that series.
Against the Pistons?
Yeah. And I'm
don't
so
get it.
in for
I
that.
really
but,
don't
like,
get it.
I want them to be the underdog. I want them to be the team that nobody's
Isaiah
picking.
Stewart's going to bully Evan Mobley in a way that he's
Yeah.
never been bullied before. You remember the combination of Tim Duncan and Kevin Garnett. That's what one guy called him one time. 989-837-6125. Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mitt. We'll take a trip around the league when we come back. If you're looking to move, you got to meet Matt Smith Modern Realty, redefining real estate with a fresh, modern approach. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, Matt Smith delivers personalized service tailored to you. Cutting-edge marketing, local expertise, and a commitment to making your real estate experience as smooth and successful as possible. From cozy starter homes to luxury properties, they know how to find the perfect fit. Trust the team that combines innovation with real-world know-how. Meet Matt Smith, Modern Realty.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. Built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, let's do it. Let's work some football into our lives. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on the Mitt. It is time to take a trip around the league.
It's time to zoom out and go around the league.
15 trade candidates for this offseason. We already got a trade this morning. As we were wrapping up our mid-morning catch, we found out that Jermaine Johnson was traded to the Titans for Devondre Sweat, the former second-round pick from Texas. I almost said A&M, but yeah, it's Texas.
Player-for-player trade. Pretty rare.
Pretty rare. We'll see if there's anything more in it. But let's go over the 15 best candidates that we want to see traded according to ESPN. Number 1, how do you want to do this? Do you want to guess who these players are, or do you want to tell me the best destination for them? Let's do that. Let's do the guess that
Okay.
the pick the destination. The number 1 player on this list is Brian Thomas Jr., the wide receiver for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
He's the number 1 guy on the list to
Correct.
get traded? He's not getting traded, bro.
They extended Jacoby Myers. They really like Parker Washington. He gets more targets
Travis
than Brian
Hunter's
Thomas.
a cornerback.
They still have 2 receivers that just get more looks than him. I've got a perfect destination for him, though, and it's not Buffalo.
If you were going to say Buffalo, I would have freaked out.
New
I think,
England.
Yeah.
Nobody likes taking deep shots more than Drake May, and this is a deep ball guy because of his speed. And guess what? Trevor Lawrence doesn't really throw deep balls. I think that would be a perfect fit.
What is his trade value?
Second rounder would be my guess.
Ah, man, that just feels so tough for Jacksonville.
The second rounder is that's a nice thing to just add to your team.
For sure it is, but Thomas was a first-round pick and was an awesome rookie. It's just
He was an awesome rookie for the final stretch of the season.
I'm telling
when
you,
Mac
man,
Jones was his quarterback.
a team like the Titans needs to get involved here. A team that has a young QB which it makes sense for the Pats too, because they have a young QB that doesn't have an established wide receiver 1. That's the team that needs to go get this guy.
I've got another one for you too. How about the Raiders? They don't really have a wide receiver 1 for Mendoza.
I'm in on that, man. I like that one. That'd be a really good way to set up Mendoza. We always see a lot of the times in the draft when a top QB gets picked, usually one of the 2 or 3 picks after it is a wide receiver, just to try to pair a guy with the quarterback. That could be that pairing.
It would be Brock Bowers, Genty,
I
and
really
Brian
like
Thomas.
that.
That'd be really fun.
I think that's my favorite one, actually.
Next one, Devon Achane. Miami Dolphins, he's got 1 more year left on his contract. And Miami's just looking to blow things up, right? If you can get any sort of trade, if you can get a 5th-round pick, you probably just do this, right? You're not paying him next year.
5th?
You're not paying him next year,
A
right?
5th?
Kyle, are you paying this guy when you're
You
in
get
a
a whole
rebuilding
extra
phase?
year of this guy? Come on. Somebody's giving up a 3rd-round pick for Achane.
What?
He was great.
We've talked about this with Montgomery. There's no way Montgomery would draw a 3rd.
Okay, David Montgomery versus Achane, dude.
If you can get a 3rd, this is a no-brainer. If you can get a 4th, I'd still do it. The point is, Miami's not going to pay him.
Right.
Where would be the best team that needs a running back that's also? They need a speed back. They need a guy who's fast, not necessarily a bruiser.
Right. I mean, once again, I will just continue to be under the mindset of any running back that's good, Minnesota should be trying to acquire.
Yeah.
And this one would be, and I'd be fearing this, obviously. I'd be fearing any sort of running back that they could acquire because Achane in an O'Connell offense, I mean.
Sounds really scary.
That sounds pretty scary, man. Especially this would help out J.J. McCarthy as well. So that's going to be the one team that I would look at. Everyone's going to think about the Chiefs, right? Chiefs. I don't think so, man. I think the Chiefs kind of need a
They need a
workhorse.
bruiser.
Yeah, they need a guy who, think about Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt has taken over that backfield 2 years in a row because he is this bruising, middle of the line running
And
back.
he's not even good. They
And he's
just
not even
prefer
good.
that.
That's just the style of running back they want. So, yeah, I don't think Achane is the fit there. I would go Minnesota.
I got one more for you, too. AFC team, South, Texans, who've needed a new running back for a while now.
Out on Woody Marks, huh?
He's always hurt. He goes to the 10 every game.
That's a good point. And he was just a 5th-round rookie. It's not like he's anything.
Yeah.
I guess Achane was the same way, but
Number 3 on the list, another Dolphin, Jalen Waddle.
Waddle, I think, could get dealt. I think Waddle
probably should get dealt.
I think Waddle definitely could get dealt. And
They
he
didn't
has
get
good
anything
value.
for Tyreek, so you may as well trade Waddle and
But
get
I guess
some extra
Tyreek is
capital.
gone, and then it's like you literally have no receivers.
They have no
and you
quarterback.
don't have a quarterback. Yeah,
they
but like
may as
you're-
well just trade all their guys.
whoever
and
your
just,
quarterback is, you're just literally setting them up for massive failure.
Isn't that kind of the direction Miami's heading in anyway with how much dead cap they have?
Yeah, I mean, they are going to have massive failure nonetheless. But, like, especially if you're getting a young QB. Like, if you're like, hey, Quinn Ewers, we're giving you this season. It's just obviously going to be bad.
Disaster. Yeah, so if you're going to be bad regardless because Quinn Ewers is your quarterback, I would just trade away.
Waddle also has the
Waddle.
best value, like, over HN. Obviously,
Yeah.
Hill is gone. Like, of anybody they could move off of, Waddle's value is still really good.
I would be trading Waddle and just try to collect as much draft capital as you can.
He's not going to Buffalo. He's not going to New England because these are in-division teams. I know that the Dolphins don't plan on competing anytime soon, but you're still not just going to deal that guy who's really good to an in-division rival.
You know what team is written all over this? The Baltimore Ravens.
Ooh.
Who have a similar player-ish, like Zay Flowers, who's just kind of, I don't know. He feels like he's hit his ceiling.
I still got one for you that I
Okay.
don't love.
Give it to me.
Green Bay.
Ah.
Now they're tied up a little bit cap-wise, so I don't know if they'd want to make a move like this.
They don't really have picks either.
Don't really have picks. I don't think it would take a first to get Waddle though. Like I think he's a second plus guy. Like it takes more than a second, but not quite a first. I think to acquire him. But yeah, I think Waddle to the Packers makes a ton of sense. I would hate it.
What if the Chiefs were just like, you know what? We traded our fast guy to the Dolphins. Let's trade for their fast guy, Waddle.
Could see that. They just have Worthy though. Rashee Rice is finding every way to get in trouble with the law this offseason, so I don't know what his status is.
You know what team needs a second wide receiver is the Steelers.
Yeah, but they have Metcalf making that crazy money. I mean, like, yes, they do, and they benefit from their quarterback. I mean, that's why they gave out a bunch of money to everybody last year, because their quarterback was making nothing. So
Well, speaking of DK Metcalf,
Metcalf traded.
he's 6th on the list.
What?
4 years.
Who's trading for that contract?
I don't think anybody.
I think he's on the worst contract in the sport that's not a quarterback. I truly believe
Wow.
that. And he was fine last year, but they paid him top.
What about Kirby Joseph?
They paid him top 5 receiver money. And he just absolutely is not that. And
No.
I still think he is, like, he's a good player, for sure. He's fun. But he is on a terrible deal, man. There's no way anybody trades for that.
I agree with you. I don't think he's getting dealt. Him and Aaron can rot together. Crosby's number 4 on this list, but they've already kind of said that he's not going to get traded.
Yeah.
So we can move
Why would
on
you
there.
trade him? Yeah, I'm with you there.
The only team I could realistically see like doing it and getting ultra aggressive is the Bears, because they've got the DJ Moore aspect of it to give
to
the
trade
Raiders
for Crosby, yeah.
Yeah, and they've got picks. That would be the only team I can see like overwhelming.
They have
Las
the money,
Vegas.
too. I mean, Caleb is not paid yet. Like, it makes a ton of sense. Absolutely.
AJ Brown on the list. This one I'm just gonna go chalk. Buffalo.
He's getting traded. I for a while I was kind of under the perception of like, maybe don't trade AJ Brown. He's getting traded for sure, based off of what Sirianni said at the combine. When they asked him about it, he was like, "Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be on the team or not." The guy's
that's
under
just
contract.
Sirianni talking.
But the guy's under contract. That's something you say about a free agent, not a guy who's on the team.
I'll give you a take. I think just because AJ Brown is off the team doesn't mean their culture and everything would be fixed.
Really good take.
Like, they still
I'm
have
with you.
Jalen Hurts, who just talks to
They
everyone
have
like he's a
Sirianni
disciple.
as their head coach, man.
Sirianni's a bad
all starts
leader.
with him.
He gets into ruffles with everyone on the team, all his coaching assistants as well. And Jalen Hurts, I think, just rubs people the wrong way, the way he, like, preaches to everyone when he's in front of a microphone.
he
It's
knows
fake.
all.
It's fake tough. Yeah, he treats the microphone and the media like he's this all-knowing being, which I think gets annoying, and I don't blame A.J. Brown for being frustrated with it. Has he handled it the right way? Absolutely not. But I don't think removing A.J. Brown fixes the Eagles' culture.
Yeah, this was my whole thing last year. I don't think anything was A.J. Brown's fault. I would be pissed if I was A.J. Brown, too.
We already did DK. Number 7 was Kyler Murray, who I don't think he's getting dealt.
no
I don't think
idea.
there's a market for him.
I have no idea. You know what I was thinking about, too? What if the Browns just traded for him?
That'd be on brand.
Just go with the, let's just eat the Deshaun contract. We're not going to draft a quarterback that's any good. What if we just traded for him? I could see it, man.
We've talked about this a handful of times. The quarterback needs, where these guys are going to end up, whether it's Kyler, Willis, any of it. Derek Carr just seems like he's going to play this year.
I know.
Is this going to be in Minnesota or is it going to be in
Atlanta? He's a solid
Atlanta?
option, too. Like, I think he's a solid option.
I think there's 2 teams it makes sense for, Minnesota and Atlanta. Those are the only 2 teams I envision him going to.
Atlanta, I think it makes the most sense for Derek Carr, or for them, because it's a guy you can bring in basically for free.
Yes.
And they need to do that because
they don't have a quarterback.
They don't have a quarterback and they don't have picks. And you could still be like, hey, we still might trust Penix when he comes back because we just have Derek Carr for this year. But they could play that game, you know?
I think he, for his own sake, would like to go to Minnesota. Better offensive system in terms of the coach. You get Justin Jefferson. And then it all just turns out the exact same way because Derek Carr is one of those guys where it's like, is he really going to get you over the hump? Although we thought that was Sam Darnold. Speaking of Sam's, Sam Laporta's on this list.
What?
Sam Laporta is the 8th guy on this ESPN trade candidate list.
Oh, come on. Why?
One more year.
Because of the contract, probably?
Because they're not going to be able to pay him. I think he's way more important than we saw how bad of a drop-off there was in the blocking game and the offense in general when Sam Laporta went out.
Yeah, exactly. How about this, though? Like, I'll put you on the spot. If you know the Lions aren't paying, we'll do the Tarek Skubal conversation here.
Yeah.
If you know they're not going to pay Laporta, if he just is the default guy he's the guy that's not getting the deal, do you move him? I go no, because you're trying to win a Super Bowl, and he's very important to that.
Do you trade for a guy who's coming off of a back surgery? Probably not.
Are you getting proper value for that guy?
Yeah.
No, I think the answer is absolutely no. This isn't a Hawkinson situation.
Number 1 team listed, Kansas City Chiefs.
Yep. Okay.
Second is the Ravens.
I mean, if he got traded to the Chiefs to be Kelsey's predecessor,
there's no way the Lions
over
would
for him.
be on the other end of that.
I would be so morally upset.
Yes, I agree with you. A couple other ones. Spencer Rattler. Nah, I'm good. Minkah Fitzpatrick,
Rattler.
Tua Tagovailoa, who I just don't think anybody will trade for. Tanner McKee somehow on this list. Nate Hobbs. DJ Moore, we saw was in the news this morning. People have been reaching out to him. And Tyson Bagent. Yeah. Not to him, but to the Bears for trading him. So we'll see what happens there. That is our trip around the league presented by Aired Insurance. At Aired Insurance, they understand not everyone's insurance needs are the exact same. They want to work personally with you to create something best suited for your needs, whether it's life, home, auto, fiscal. It's all available with the Aired Insurance Group with Farm Bureau Insurance. The team's got over 100 years of combined experience. They know exactly how to put you in the best position possible. The experience matters, and that's why the Aired Insurance Group with Farm Bureau Insurance is the way to go, serving the Tri-Cities with locations in Bay City and Saginaw.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
So did you see the streak that Cade Cunningham is on after last night? This was put on the broadcast last night at the very end of the game. It was his fourth straight game with 10 assists and 2 blocks. Yesterday he had 3 blocks and 3 steals, just filling up the stat sheet on both ends. It feels like he's a block every game now, and over the last 4 he's been 2 every game. The defensive stuff with him is just mind-blowing. The 10 assists per game, it feels like that's just every other night now. The last time someone had a streak of 4 games of this was 1994 when Mookie Blaylock, ever heard of him? One-time All-Star?
Mookie Blaylock, yes.
Blaylock had 5 straight games of this in 1994. Just a really weird, unique stat that I thought was worth a little mention.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of very few guys in the league, I think 3 or 4, that are 1 steal, 1 block per game. You know, they have a couple of each. Scotty Barnes being one of them, Wiggins. But, yeah, I mean, it seems like all of his blocks, too, are not just Cade snuck in a block. I didn't see that one.
They're the loudest
he caught a block
blocks.
there. No, it is like a major block every time he gets one.
There's not a lot of guys, guards, that protect the rim like him probably ever in the history of the league. It's probably naive to say, but
Dwayne Wade is notoriously an
Sure.
amazing shot blocking guard. Derek White is probably the best in the league currently.
oh, come on.
I mean, Derek White for sure is.
Cade's just averaging more blocks than him.
I mean, Derek White has consistently been a 1 to 2 blocks per game guy his whole career.
But do we think that this is going away from Cade anytime? Cade is just way bigger than Derek White and protects the rim in transition in a way that I haven't seen a guard do in a really long time.
Totally.
And it's not like he sneaks up behind guys and gets those little sneaky blocks. He just goes up and contests guys at the rim, and more often than not, it's clean. He doesn't foul anybody when he does it. He just goes up, stuffs a dude, pins it off the backboard, and then boom, just like that, they're off and away in transition. And then the 10 assists, I mean, it's every night now. It's every night he's getting 10 assists. Even the games where he struggles to score. It's Cade only had 17 tonight? Yeah, but he had 13 assists.
He's definitely going to be averaging a double-double by the end of the year, right? 9.8 assists per right now.
I would think so.
I would think, but like you said, I mean, it's most nights it's minus odds for him to have a double-double.
Yeah.
You know, it's gotten to that point.
Which is incredible because you don't really see there was a new position that was invented in basketball. I know it's positionless, but about 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, this combo guard became, I mean, you had to be able to handle the ball and you had to be able to, there's no true point guards anymore, is basically what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, they're all score first, yeah.
And Cade is kind of the exception to where I almost think he plays a little pass first sometimes, where he's just trying to initiate some guys and get his guys open looks, and then he can also score the ball. But you're right, there's no pass first guys anymore, and Cade's about the closest thing we have to that. Ironically, I'd say Jokic might be a pass first guy. LeBron and Luka are kind of like that, but I don't think Luka can be considered a pass first guy. LeBron at this stage of his career might be.
Right.
He's always kind of had that gene to him. I really do believe that Cade has become a top 3 passer in the NBA. And that's part of the reason that he's going to be in an MVP discussion at the end of this thing, because of how many points he generates for the rest of his team, even when he's not scoring. It's incredible stuff from Mr. Cunningham. Again, that's 4 straight games with 10 assists and 2 blocks. There's the stat of the day for you, for those that missed DP. 989-837-6125. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mitt. YouTube as well. Like and subscribe if you haven't on that end. We'll get to our Mitt messages here coming up. I want to talk about this game last night for the Detroit Pistons on if it changed your mind about them.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.
This is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
Detroit basketball was in action last night. Wings back in action tonight, by the way. But the Pistons played the first place Oklahoma City Thunder in the Western Conference. The Pistons are the first place team in the East. Can we just take a moment and talk about how NBA fans in general, Pistons fans, Oklahoma City fans, were robbed of just such an incredible game last night, where it should have been the two best teams in the Western Conference, or the two best teams in the NBA, one from the East, one from the West. Should have been two perennial MVP candidates, two best defenses in the NBA. But instead, the Oklahoma City Thunder decide to sit. Well, they're hurt, but you know how that goes. SGA, J-Dub, and Chet all not playing. Just like, come on, man. What are we doing? And if he plays their next game and it's just so like, yeah, he could have played, but we decided to rest him a little bit longer for SGA just to make sure he's healthy. It's like, nah, come on. Like, I know you guys are defending champs and you don't have that much to prove in the regular season, but what are we doing? Come to the dungeon. Come fight. It's so frustrating that we got robbed of what could have been such an incredible game last night with real MVP stakes on the line.
Yeah, I mean, it obviously is disappointing, and especially because they play their next game against the Nuggets, which to them is probably a more important game, right? You know, with Denver being one of the better teams in the West. So I don't know. It's tough. I mean, it's of course unfortunate nonetheless because we had hyped up this week like man, what a big-time week it is. You got the Pistons playing the Spurs first off, who are one of the more fun young teams in the league. I think they've kind of passed the Pistons as the fun young team, at least just from a national perspective, how they're being talked about.
They've got the biggest attraction in the league.
And they won. I mean, they won the head-to-head. I think that totally helps, too. The game against OKC, like the best two teams in the league. Like, I saw that being mentioned on the broadcast last night. It's the two best teams in the league, and it's like,
Kinda.
not this
B team.
This team is not the best team in the league in OKC, like that's for sure. And they've been winning games without Shea still, but like
they're deep.
They're a good team. I mean, you saw it last night. It wasn't this pushover dub. Like they weren't just easily going to get the win. OKC was up for a while in that game, and they wouldn't go away either. And then of course the Pistons game against the Cavs on Friday, which is probably the most important for Detroit, but still, like what an opportunity it was with 3 primetime games for the Pistons to face all these top teams. And like you said, it just felt like a major disappointment.
Yeah, because you had the Spurs game in which you lost, and then you had a chance to, like, recapture everything. But, like, they won last night, and it's almost like,
Cool.
yeah, like, that's nice. But it's
Yeah.
not like all of a sudden it's like, let's go, we beat the Thunder, we just beat the top team in
I
the
still
West.
felt
It's-
a little bit that
eh.
way. I still felt a little bit that way just because it was like that gives us an extra game of being the best team in the league. Like, you know,
Sure.
I'm like big time win. Like I'm happy they bounced back. They didn't drop 2 straight again. Like that's the thing I think about every time they lose a game, which doesn't happen very often.
But
But
it's not like this is kind of where we opened up the show and where we're heading right now. I don't feel any better about the Pistons after last night's win. And after Monday's loss, there was a couple things that, you know, were very apparent that have been problems all season. But like on Monday, it was just like, whoa, these are major flaws with this team. Yesterday didn't win me back over. Did it with you?
no, I mean, like all of these concerns that you have about Detroit have been concerns all season long. And now that we're getting later into the year, you know, you start to think more and more about playoff basketball. We want Detroit to finish out the season as the 1 seed. We want them to continue to play well, and I'm still going to be dialed into all of these games. But we're past the All-Star break now. Like, we're past the trade deadline. I am thinking about the playoffs. I'm thinking about what is the first-round matchup? What is the second-round matchup? What does it look like in a series when they go at Duncan Robinson? Like, I'm thinking about all these things. When I watch the Pistons right now, I'm thinking about if it was a playoff game. Like, how are they going to figure out when a team throws this at them? And you have to explore different things right now. And so, yeah, I wasn't, like, any takeaways from last night. Like, oh, man, it was nice to see Asar Thompson bounce back after whatever went down between him and J.B. Bickerstaff on Monday.
He got benched. That's what went down.
But I kind of think it was a deserving bench, you know? Like, so it was nice to see him have a nice bounce-back game. It was nice to see Cade have a big one because, I mean, he had a poor game against San Antonio. It's that simple for his
I think
standards.
Wemby broke his brain.
For sure.
Cade operates so well in that middle with the pick and roll. He'll get into the paint, just like inside the perimeter, get his 2 feet in there, and just start manipulating defenses and forcing guys to either commit to him or commit to Duren on the roll, and then just will get buckets from there, whether that's throwing a lob or putting up a floater or just getting all the way to the rim. And Wemby was just like, no, you can't do any of that stuff, man. I'm just going to sit in the middle and not commit to either of you, and you can't do either one with me in the middle. That's my number one opponent in terms of I don't want to see them in the finals because
Right.
Wemby just breaks point guard's brains. And for Cade to be in that situation, I mean, you could see it. His brain was rattled. He was like, how is he covering both of these? This isn't supposed to be possible, and yet it was. And they picked him up full court and just pressed him the entire game. They were physical with him. So, like, now all of a sudden – there's no Wemby in the Eastern Conference, obviously, but these teams that are just going to go balls to the walls, like make Cade's life as difficult as possible, pick him up full court, turn him as much as possible, double team him off of the pick and rolls, just like taking away his ability to impact the game. Do we trust the rest of the roster, the secondary creators, to generate enough offense if Cade's going, like if a team's going to just say, you know what, someone else is beating us? And the short answer is just probably no. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, Danis Jenkins is your only other creator on offense. Like
or Tobias, but like he's really just creates his own baskets.
Like, and
Asar
Karis
creates
LeVert
for
does
others.
it too, but it's him creating his own offense. Like Karis LeVert does provide. I'm so up and down with him, man.
I'm good. I don't like him.
But like he has the games. Like even he always has a stretch in every couple games where it's like, there's Karis LeVert. You know, like there's the guy that they paid $16 million, you know, like that's him.
But the issue is when he hits his first one, like guarantee you when they come back down the floor, he's coming down and hitting another. And if he hits that one, it's like I'd bet you my entire life savings he's coming down and shooting another one, which It's fine to have one of those guys. It can also be kind of frustrating.
Yeah, but that's why they acquired Dennis Schroeder last year.
Yes.
You know, like that's why they traded for another. Everyone was like, oh, a point guard with Cade? Like, that doesn't make sense. And it totally made sense because in a playoff series, you would be foolish not to just double Cade. Like, why
make
not?
somebody else beat him.
And I think, like, Cade is a great passer, and I think the Pistons would be able to pick it apart. But I'm not letting Cade be the one to beat us. You know, because they just and nonetheless, it just works. It works him down over and over. So,
But like Cade's a great passer, and I have no doubt he'll find the open guy out of the double team. But like then you're kind of reliant on everyone else to take advantage of your 3-on-4 advantage.
And if Duncan's not hitting shots, then it just becomes and I think everyone is better too. Like, I think the team has just developed much more since last year's playoff series that they would figure it out, but it certainly is going to be something I'm nervous about once it does happen in the playoffs.
Because your secondary guy, who's in terms of like creating shots for others, is Asar. I love Asar Thompson more than anybody else, but like if that's your second guy to get you baskets, a guy who can't get, can't even hit the rim half the time when he shoots a three.
Exactly, and that's
like,
a guy
that's
that
concerning.
They really need to make sure he's on it in the playoffs because he has to be out there for defense. And there was a couple games in that Knicks series last year where it felt like Asar Thompson should probably not be in the game. Despite
There's also down the stretch he should have been in the game and they lost because he wasn't.
For sure. So like it's a tough thing to try to balance. Have you checked Cade's MVP odds since?
I have not. Do
you think they went up or down after the Knicks thing? Because that was like we got like
Knicks thing.
Because remember we got like a 2-day push of like Cade might be the MVP, like a real national thing being talked about.
Are we talking about the same Knicks thing? You mean like last Saturday's game against the Knicks?
Yeah.
Well, they went up. He was like plus 650.
I'm saying after that, like obviously.
Oh, I have not looked after that.
I know, and I'm asking you, do you think they went up or down?
Well, Shea hasn't played, and Jokic keeps losing, so I'd say they'd say it about the same, maybe gone up a little bit.
Yeah, they got better. Even though after Monday, it was like, oh, Cade's not the MVP because Wembanyama just killed him. No, Cade's plus 550.
What's Vic?
Plus 1,800. Cade plus 550
I don't know.
because
After
he just
watching
beat
Victor,
Shea,
it's
man.
just crazy.
And I go on Generic Sportsbook, by the way. There's just a tab of Jason Tatum, method of first basket in regular season.
I've seen that one.
Are you kidding me?
He's coming back. That's like almost a guarantee.
Yeah, they have
now.
odds on these, and one of them isn't. He doesn't play, so like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's to me the team in the East that's a little bit concerning. There's one player though for the Pistons that they are more reliant on than maybe we possibly could have realized, and I don't necessarily think that's a positive thing come playoff time because there's been a different team that's relied on this player. And it hasn't worked out. Actually, I'd say there's two players like that where they've been in situations where they need to be relied upon a little bit more in the playoffs, and it just doesn't deliver. I'll tell you who those two players are when we come back. It's the Ben Bosscher Show, live here on 100.9 The Mitt. The 11 o'clock hour, as always, is presented by Yiter Insurance. Life happens fast, then at Yiter Insurance, they're here to make sure you're covered every step of the way. Locally owned and trusted in Midland for decades, they treat you like family, not just another policy number. From home and auto to business and life insurance, Yiter is the right coverage for every stage of life. Their team makes insurance simple with expert advice and real people you can actually talk to. That's Yiter Insurance Group. We'll be there when you need us since 1940.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9. by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
So I mentioned there was two different Detroit Pistons that they're going to be heavily reliant upon come playoff time. The first of those is Duncan Robinson, who just has some incredible splits here on losses versus wins for the Pistons. They've been so reliant on him this season to where in their wins, he's shooting 43% from behind the arc. In their losses, he's shooting 31%. The Pistons, when he hits 3 threes, are 30-6. And when he doesn't, they're 12-7, slightly above average. Still above average, but man, when he hits 3 threes, they win. When he doesn't, it's not a guarantee. That's a player they're going to be heavily reliant upon. That's also a player that a different team has relied upon him, and he got schemed out of being in playoff series. Now he's I think a stronger mentally player than he was when he was with Miami, but he's just such an automatic foul on defense that teams will hunt him and try to get him out of the game because he's going to be in foul trouble. And if he does get into foul trouble, like I just think the Pistons are going to have such a hard time overcoming him not being able to play because they don't have another spot-up shooter to run off-ball stuff with and shoot threes at a high volume.
Yeah, and it would just be such a detriment if it was back-to-back years of like your elite three-point shooter just not performing in the playoffs. Like if Duncan has to show up, and it's that simple. And it sucks that like he basically is the X factor that decides a lot of the Pistons' success in the playoffs. Which, I mean, you could say now if he's not knocking down shots, I mean, he's not on the floor, but you have to keep him out on the floor just for the threat of a three-pointer.
They don't have another. At least
exactly.
with Beasley, they had Tim Hardaway Jr. as well last year. Like, they had 2 guys.
Yeah.
This year, they only have 1 guy.
And yet they still shot terribly from deep in the playoffs last year. So, like, a lot of it does rely on Duncan. Obviously, you want some other guys to step up, too, but it definitely is putting a lot on a guy's plate who is just simply a role player.
It makes me a little nervous. I think it should make every Pistons fan a little bit nervous that they're that reliant on Duncan come the playoffs when mismatches get exposed a little bit more and teams are a little bit more willing to hunt the worst guy on the floor defensively.
They got Red Velvet, though, you know?
Do they? I think that guy died a long time ago.
Yeah.
Now it's just
Kevin
Kevin
Herter when they were calling him that in the Atlanta days. Yeah.
Kevin H.
Yeah. Not Kevin G.
No, not Kevin G. By the way, the other person I was mentioning was Tobias, who, like, man, how many different teams can you be like, hey, how did Tobias playoffs work out? And they'd be like, oh, man. The Sixers would come to mind, and they would tell you, like, nah, didn't work out. Don't be reliant upon him. But I would tell you he was pretty good in last year's playoffs. I liked the way he played. I thought he brought it against Cat defensively. It was some of the best defense I've ever seen Tobias Harris play. Hit some nice, like, big-time shots as well. But, like, not ultimately a guy that I'm like, okay, if Cade's not cooking one night or they're taking him away, plan B, Tobias Harris. I'm not all that excited about that either. And it sounds like I'm so pessimistic towards this team after this show, but like I'm not. I still think there should be favorites in the East, but it's not like there's some bulletproof team by any stretch. These are the big concerns in a playoff series.
I mean, that's why we're having these conversations, because despite them being the best team in the NBA, like there's a reason why the rest of the league still views some of these other teams in the East as just the biggest threats, I guess you could say, in the East. But for Tobias, yeah, I'm totally with you. Like, he was great in the playoffs last year. Just from like what I expected from Tobias Harris, I expected him to be terrible because he's just been a bad playoff performer in his last couple years leading up to that series with Detroit. It was always like hopefully Tobias can help the Pistons get to the playoffs, and then by the time they're there in real series, he's not on the team anymore. And then it was like, oh crap, they're in the playoffs year 1 with Tobias Harris, and now they're about to be the 1 seed. And like you said, he brought it against the Knicks. That's kind of his thing, though. He brings it against specific guys and teams. If it's not the Knicks, then is he going to? You know, I don't necessarily know, but I'm excited either way.
Yeah. Who would you be, like, who's more likely to let Pistons fans down in the playoffs? Is it Duncan Robinson or is it Tobias? I think it's probably Duncan.
It's Duncan, just because of the horrors of last year. You know, like Malik Beasley was an insanely good three-point shooter for Detroit, and he left on the biggest sour note possible. Was terrible in the playoffs, couldn't hit a 3, dropped the pass that basically, you know, like would have hit the 3 to tie the game. Instead, he just let it go out of bounds. And then it finds out he's gambling on games, and he's no longer on the team. Like, so for that to happen again.
The 1-3 he hit in Game 6, I thought my head was going to explode. Right,
I thought that was the Hardaway 3.
No, he hit one too.
Oh,
That was
okay.
just as much like that when he started skipping down the court. That was
Oh
game
no,
two,
yes,
though.
yes, I know the Beasley one you're talking
Or that
about.
was game.
Yes.
That was game 3.
Yes.
The Beasley one right before halftime. I think it was a buzzer beater, right wing. That one.
I remember the skip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he got pretty hot.
But
there.
if it was another time in the playoffs where your elite high volume 3-point shooter didn't show up in the playoffs, yeah, I mean the criticism is going to totally come down on him. And he's the Michigan guy too. You know,
Yeah.
like you add that into it, everything. Like he has a lot of connection with everyone.
It feels like the odds of the Pistons surviving 3 straight playoff rounds of no team being like, you know what we should do? Hunt Duncan Robinson. The odds of 3 straight rounds of no team thinking that just seem incredibly low. Like one of these teams is going to figure it out of, let's just, whoever he's guarding, get a switch and attack him and get him into foul trouble
Yeah.
because he's a walking foul on defense, and then he's not in the game and the Pistons don't have a single shooter.
Yeah, it's just like the odds of Tom Izzo and the Spartans going 4 straight rounds in the tournament of like, wait, why don't we just play 2-3 zone the entire game?
You're saying an opponent?
Yeah, exactly. Like the odds of that seem pretty low too, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Although I feel like Sparty doesn't play as many zones as you would think they do. I just think teams
That's
don't
what I'm
practice
saying.
zones.
You don't have to against them, man.
Yeah.
You could have not practiced it all year. This is your 8th grade 2-3 zone that you ran. You remember that? You know, you got to shift over a little bit when the ball gets swung around. It would work.
But with Duncan, there's not like a practice element of it. It's just like by game 2, it's just like, oh yeah, bring that guy to me, and whoever, like whether it's Brunson, whether it's
Totally.
whether it's Paolo, whoever they end
You're
up
playing Harden or Mitchell. You're playing Maxey. Like it's just that's going to be of course the guy they look to go at for multiple reasons. Like one, because he's just the worst defender on the floor, and 2, because you want to get him in foul trouble because he's such a good 3-point shooter.
and it won't be hard. And the reason you don't see him get into foul trouble every night is because it's the regular season. You're not going to necessarily scheme your way. Like you don't have as intensive a game plan as you do when you see a team over and over and over and over again. And it's a little bit more on the coaches to expose weaknesses through your game plan. Once you get into the playoffs, and that's an element of it, if I'm playing the Pistons, it's, hey, we're going to make Cade work to even cross half court. Once he gets half court, we're basically face guarding him. We're double teaming him off of every pick and roll, and we're going to hunt Duncan Robinson on defense. Like, the Pistons are so tough. They're not like this unsolvable. Like how you beat them is fairly simplistic. It's just a matter of do teams have the personnel to be able to execute it? You know what I mean? Like you and I sitting here watching Pistons games can tell you how to beat the Pistons. We just did. It's just a matter of what team actually has the personnel to execute it. I would say the Celtics do. The Cavs, in terms of getting him into foul trouble, Duncan absolutely do. I still don't think they can really slow the Pistons down defensively just because.
And like, I mean, let's just
They're
be
just
frank.
small.
The Cavs are just like they're just weak, man.
Yeah.
Like they
soft.
have these they're soft. Like they had this great big man duo that has just gotten bullied in the last couple years in the playoffs.
And James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, it's just like James Harden defense, okay. Who's he guarding?
Yeah,
on
wait,
the
does
Pistons?
James Harden, is he going to decide to shoot the basketball in this year's playoffs? I don't really know. You know?
And Donovan Mitchell, like
Mitchell's a really good
small.
playoff player, though. Like
he's an incredible playoff player,
Yeah,
but he's just
exactly.
really small on the floor. He's like 6'2".
Yeah.
Maybe. So yeah, like the Cavs are a different thing, but you look around and I'd say the Celtics have the best personnel in terms of like hunting Duncan and slowing down Cade, multiple options.
But then they
to
have
throw at him.
Vucevic as their center and Neemias
He's
Queta.
killed the Pistons.
Well, yeah, when he was good, like
Vuce, yeah.
he sucks now. You know, like I'm just like every time we name one of these teams, you're like, yeah, that might be the team because they can go at Duncan with this guy. Then I just flip it around and be like, okay, yeah, how are they stopping Duren? You know,
Yeah.
how are they stopping Cade? Like, so that's just a tough part of trying to balance this with the Pistons. Of you and I could sit here and draw up the formula, the secret recipe of how to beat the Pistons. It's not that big of a secret.
Yeah, I was just going to say it's not a
But
secret
also,
at all. It's just a matter of executing
The teams that are doing it just continue to lose to the Pistons. You know, like why
But
can't they?
it's not like scheme. It's the regular season right now. They're not as focused on that game
So
plan.
why would you not be? I mean, like this is a team you're gonna have to beat in the playoffs to go to the finals. Like,
But you know this. Like that's just not how NBA teams approach regular season
no, I know.
games.
I mean, I don't know. I think they do to an extent.
You're right to an extent, but like the preparation and
Yeah, you're not playing them 7 times in a row in the regular season.
right,
Yeah.
right. I will, like, as I go back and forth with Orlando because they've looked all goofy all year, but like they got the guys that throw at Cade and the size and the toughness. But
give me Orlando, man. That team is just a bunch of losers. I mean, Banchero is your star. Like, Desmond Bane's the one guy I'm a little worried about because he seems to go. I mean, but like he's
kind of vicious.
I say he gets into it with beef stew, and we're good. We're good.
989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mid. If you've got boring floors or a sad shower, Premier Tile & Stone is here to rescue your surfaces from the snooze zone. These folks, they turn tile into art. I'm talking about kitchens, bathrooms, backsplashes, fireplaces. If it holds still, they'll tile it beautifully. Locally owned in Midland, but their work looks like it belongs in a magazine that charges $15 an issue. Giant selection of fancy stuff. I'm talking porcelain, ceramic, natural stone, and materials you can't even pronounce, but you're going to love them. Stop dreaming, start scheming, visit the showroom, and let your interior designer run wild. That's Premier Tile & Stone, where floors get fabulous and grout gets glorious.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, Kyle Sandel, it's your time to shine. Take it away with the mid-morning catch.
The Mitt's Morning Catch.
Okay, let's get right back into the news. Talked about it earlier, but got to mention it once again. MSU versus Purdue tonight at 8. That's on Peacock. It's really the only ranked game in college basketball tonight. Not a lot going on the college hoops front tonight, but nonetheless, a major game. MSU is still trying to, of course, and Purdue, trying to fight for a potential Big Ten regular season share. You never know what's going to happen with the Wolverines, who are in action tomorrow. But yeah, this is a big game just for...
What?
What?
Wait, what did you say?
I said both these teams are still trying to fight for a potential share for the Big Ten with Michigan.
Come on, man.
It technically still is alive.
Okay.
Correct? Right?
You know, you're right.
I mean, Michigan loses tomorrow night against Illinois, and all of a sudden we're looking at this thing like, wait a second.
I think they'd have to lose 2 more times before that's even in consideration.
Yeah, I mean, they'd have to lose all 3 times, actually.
Well, yeah. So
yeah.
2 more times for it to be... Yeah.
Yes, Wolverines 16-1. You got Nebraska, Illinois, Michigan State, and Purdue all at 4 losses apiece. Spartans and Purdue in action tonight at 8 p.m. And then, of course, we'll talk a lot about Michigan, I assume, tomorrow with their matchup against Illinois, which they've gotten the Friday night Fox game a pretty good amount this year.
I like it. It gets Saturday off a little bit. Does Michigan State has a Saturday game?
They play Sunday.
Sunday, okay.
Yeah, they go Thursday, Sunday this week, so back-to-back Sunday games for them. Okay, let's talk about...
I don't like the Sunday games. I guess there's nothing really else on Sundays anymore, so that's fine. I like the Saturday games. That's just me, though.
Okay. Speaking of Sun, how about the Suns owner, Matt Ishbia? He is going to give $1 million to the dunk contest winner and the three-point contest winners if it means that more people will do it and it will be more fun.
And what would we do without Matt Ishbia?
Yeah,
Just
man.
saving everybody's lives here. Making the world a better place he is. $1 million? That's what he said?
Yeah. He said he'd give $1 million to each.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, Matt
He's
Ishbia.
so weird. He's such an oddball, man.
Yeah, he is an oddball. More NBA news. This one's kind of fun. The Lakers are adding the ex-Virginia head coach Tony Bennett to their staff as a draft advisor. Pretty cool. Tony Bennett, notably one of the guys that kind of got out of college basketball as this NIL transfer portal era started, has developed a ton of NBA talent on that Virginia team that won the national title. I mean, there was a lot of NBA guys on that team, so pretty cool. He hasn't. I don't think he's been like doing anything with basketball as far as that I'm aware of. So the Lakers are bringing him in.
There you go.
They drafted Bronny, so I mean they need somebody to help come in and do better.
Come on.
Who said that?
So when LeBron goes to a different team this offseason, what do we think happens to Bronny? Does he just get cut
He gets cut, and then the team probably picks him up as a two-way.
wherever he goes?
Yeah,
LeBron?
right.
I would imagine.
I would think so.
Although, like, when he goes to his next team, is he really going to have pull like that?
LeBron?
Yeah.
He's LeBron.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I mean, like...
Yeah, it's a stupid question.
Yeah, really dumb question. What is LeBron going to do post-retirement, though? I don't really want to talk about this because it's starting to make me think about him when he's not playing. But, like, is it going to be the Tom Brady thing where it's like, I've never even seen him on air, let's give him the biggest broadcast contract ever?
No, I don't want him on games, I would say.
Or is he just going to do his podcast and just kind of chill? Is he going to own a team? Is he going to...
That's what I think it is. I think he owns the Vegas team.
That's what it's always been talked about, that he would own a team. Yeah, so...
Yeah, I can't see
What
him
if
doing,
LeBron
like,
became
play-by-
like a... What if he became like a coach?
No.
You don't really see these legends just like going to coaching.
We saw Bird do it.
Right. And he got into ownership too in front office, yeah.
Duncan was assistant for a while. I think it's ownership. Maybe he does some studio stuff, but there's no way he's doing like color for a game, I would say.
There's no chance, right? Yeah.
It'd take too much attention away from
It's
the game
LeBron,
itself.
yeah. And most, boosts are 3-man boosts in the NBA nowadays. You can't have LeBron and another color.
No. Yeah, he would take too much attention away from the game itself.
Yeah.
He's LeBron.
Okay,
They
let's
could
move
do the
on.
insights to excellence with him, like they were doing with Jordan on NBC.
Right,
It's just
yeah.
like, hey, he retired 1 year ago, but give us your
So
insights.
Jordan, when there's to get blackjack on the yeah, making a gambling joke.
I got that.
Yeah,
He was suspended for gambling for 2 years.
He
People
was.
forget that.
NASCAR, though, big NASCAR guy he is now. Okay, more stuff here in the NFL. Sean Payton and Mike Vrabel have expressed concerns over replay errors in the early games. I don't know if you saw this, Ben, but
I did see this.
Yeah, Troy Vincent, who's the NFL's Executive Vice President of Football Operations, said that out of the 171 replay review or replay assist decisions that happened this season, there were 5 of them that the NFL regretted and they wanted to change. Well, 4 of those 5 of them happened in the 1 p.m. slot, and they gave the excuse of why this happened because of there was too many games going on. They didn't have enough replay assist ability to verify, to check whatever it was. And Sean Payton said, man, I'm happy we play in the 4 p.m. slot because we usually play at 4 p.m. and there's less games going on, so it means there's less issues that can happen with the front office. Kind of the same thing that Mike Vrabel expressed, that it seems like some sort of an issue. I mean, I don't know, only 4 things all season long getting called back. I could see this being, but I don't want this to mean they're going to take away games at 1 p.m., right?
I always have been an advocate of evening it out a little bit
True,
more.
because when there's only 3 games in the 425 slot, because one of them always sucks. One of them's a bad game anyways.
Yeah, here come the Cardinals, 425.
Yeah, oh, Broncos, Raiders, 425. Here we go,
Yeah, no, I'd be a proponent of
Here come
evening
the
it out
Cardinals.
a little bit. Yeah, dude. They're always on at 425, and it's usually a terrible
Yeah.
game. I would love for it to be evened out a little bit more. In terms of the replay assist, I don't know, man. I think the replay assist, the way that it's being utilized, look, I just think it slows down the game, and I'm never going to be in favor of anything that slows down the game. I'd rather them get calls wrong and speed the game up a little bit than slow the game down and, we got to make sure we get everything right. So let's look at every angle 7 times. No, I'm good.
Who's ready for Cardinals versus Commanders at 425? Yeah, I think adding an extra game to that slot would be good. I think I'd be on board for that. Anything that takes away from 2 Monday night games, I think I'm happy with. More NFL news. The Jaguars and the Commanders have been named host teams for NFL's 3 London games this year. The Jacksonville Jags, once again, man, just building that fan base over there. They're hosting 2 games in London this year as the home team. So the Jacksonville fans, if there is any that are in Jacksonville.
Yeah, the 7th season ticket holders are like, what the hell? They're calling the rep. They're like, these better be lower prices this year. 2 games out in London, stealing them away. Does that mean they have 8 games? Oh, no, they have to have 7 home games still, right?
Yeah. I don't really know.
There's no way
now that there's the odd amount of games, I guess it.
There's no way they would be in the year where they have 8 and then give them 6 home games and take them away. They have to still have 8.
Well, you have
or
8
7.
or 9, right?
Yeah, so if you get 2 home games taken away,
They have to have 9
Yeah.
total, right? That would make more sense. They're going back-to-back games, though, or back-to-back weeks, it sounds like they're going to schedule. I know the schedules haven't come out, but yeah, they want to keep it so that they're over there in London back-to-back weeks, which, of course, makes sense. But the fact that both of those are home games are just ridiculous. Because remember last year, I think it was Jags-Bears?
yeah, sounds right.
And it was just that might have even been 2 years ago when it was Jacksonville, they're like the Europe's team. And then the Bears just it was all Bears fans there.
Am I mistaken, or is the Australian game also this year?
Yes, Australian game is this year
With the Rams.
with the Rams and the 49ers, and then the Rams are also playing in Mexico City. So the Rams are
Really?
going to be out. The Rams are going to be out twice, or maybe it was the Niners. One of those 2 teams is going to be gone twice. A lot going on, man.
Are we sure it's Rams 49ers in Australia?
Yeah.
The Niners were the confirmed opponent?
Yep, they already confirmed that. That's the
2
only
teams that are in the same state,
Yeah.
a couple hours apart.
crazy awesome game, probably.
Yeah, they're
Let's
just
throw
gonna
it in Australia.
It's like it'd be like if Michigan and Western Michigan played in Germany.
Right, but Sharon Moore wouldn't be allowed to go over there. So, anyways, more stuff going on. We talked about this.
Sharon
with,
Moore even allowed to leave his house?
Sharon Moore allowed to do anything? Probably not. It shouldn't be. James Harden, we talked about the Cavs. He is planning to play through a fractured right thumb. It sounds like he's just going to continue to play. He's going to be a kind of a day-to-day, game-to-game basis. But thought this might be some news where the Cavs are going to be missing one of their big players for a while, but no surgery or nothing needed.
You know what I was thinking about?
What were you thinking about?
The Pistons, in terms of Harden, I don't think they actually can get under his skin because he doesn't care enough. They'd rough him up, and he'd just be like, whatever, man. I'm just here to get my paycheck. I play basketball, and if I win or lose, doesn't matter.
Harden's good, man.
Really
good regular
I'm not telling
season
you Harden's
player. Yeah.
bad, but I'm just envisioning the Pistons doing their rough guy thing where it's you want to go, and Harden's just no, not really.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I'll just shoot a floater and pass it away.
He's
next
just
time.
come on, man. Can we just play? He wants no part of it. Not because he's soft, but he's just he straight up just doesn't care.
I do got a couple more things in the news, and then we'll send it off to our two traditions to close every show.
Sure.
Last night, UConn versus St. John's, the rematch. Oh, man, this is going to be a great game, right?
I didn't catch any of it. I don't even know who won.
Well, UConn won by 32 points. St. John's scored 40. They scored 40 points in a basketball game in the Big 2-6.
Is that why John's not here at work today?
I think so. I texted John last night because he was doing a couple high school games, and I said, hey, man, would Saginaw United beat St. John's tonight? Like, they might, man. That's
bad.
Yeah,
40
tough
points
tough
in
look for the
2026 is
yeah.
Dan Hurley. 12 hours after you said he's not a top 3 coach in
It's a
college
good point.
basketball,
He
just puts on a defensive clinic.
I'm happy to know Dan Hurley's a listener of the Ben Bosscher Show
Yep.
because he had to have been listening for them to do that. Paul Skeens has the opposite mindset of Tarek Skubal going into the World Baseball Classic. He said winning gold is the biggest thing when asked about his going into this season with the Pirates and how he's handling the spring training load with the World Baseball Classic and being with Pittsburgh. He said, men's hockey, women's hockey, all the other golds that we won in the Olympics, we're America. We've got to assert our dominance over everybody else. That's what we do, and it's going to be fun.
That's the dude I want on Team USA. That's the guy. I want everyone with that mentality. It drives me crazy that Scubal's like, I'll be on the team for one game against Great Britain, and then I'm going home. Don't be on the team then, dude. He shouldn't get a gold medal. He should get half a gold medal. He should get a third of a gold medal.
He shouldn't get a gold medal, man.
No.
Really coming out hot here. Let's end the news with this because, I don't know, I was talking about this with someone last night, Ben. Still don't know how we're going to watch the Tigers this year. No clue. Season's in a month. Well, the Braves have announced they were one of the teams that kind of ended their, well, the FanDuel Sports Network is just, going away. They were one of the teams that was on FanDuel Sports Network. They are launching their own network, and they are to air 140 games with the 22 others being nationally televised games this season. So they're just creating a service.
That's what the Tigers are doing.
Right, but they're partnering with MLB Network though. Like it's
to
so
help run their broadcasts.
Yeah, but
they
I mean,
don't have
it's
the infrastructure to do it. I think this is just going to be a separate streaming.
Yeah, but
service.
at least like they know, like at least the Braves know where they're going to watch this.
Yeah.
How the hell am I going to watch the Tigers? I don't know.
You ready to download the Chris Ilitch Sports
Yeah,
and Entertainment
do I have to
app?
be in Little Caesars to watch the Tigers? Is that what's next? Only live in Little Caesars?
Like, are you saying Little Caesars Arena or just
No, like in across the country. Like you have to go there to watch. That's a good idea.
Sign up for our Little Caesars mobile app.
Yeah, what if it was on the Little Caesars app?
Oh, man. 989-837-6125. We've got two traditions to close out every show. We'll get to those when we come back. It's the Ben Bosscher Show here on a Thursday on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt. on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, we got two traditions to close out each and every show here on the Ben Bosscher Show. The first of which is a way to make some money. The first of which is something that we need a win in. The first of which is our lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
All right. We need a win, man. We desperately need to win. 3 straight losses to open up this week. I think this has got to be the longest losing streak I've been on in 2026, right? I don't think I've lost 3 in a row.
Let's check. Lock of the day, Doc. You lost 3 in a row to open up the year.
Oh, wow. I bounced back in a big way then.
Yeah, you lost the first 3 to open up the year, and then just like the Pistons, it hasn't happened since. You've actually lost 4 in a row total now because you lost Friday last week, and then you've opened up this week with 3 straight L's. That's put you, and I have really bad news for you too, Ben. First time you've been, you're just down on the year now for the first time since like the first week of January. You are 0.96 units down here in the Big 2-6. You're also 0.2 or 2.7 units down overall in February. Things are not going well. How are you going to try to fix them today?
I'm going to take the over tonight in the Lakers-Suns game. I was blown away as to how low this was. It's 218, which is, I think I saw the second lowest over-under today in the NBA. The Lakers have the 24th defensive rating team in the NBA. They're allergic, like, if they're playing a team that has any sort of off-ball movement or cutting, they'll just get exposed. That's kind of where the Suns' offense comes through a lot. They're a team that plays with a lot of cohesion and moves around a ton. So I just think Phoenix is going to be able to score a ton. And without Dillon Brooks in the game for Phoenix, I don't think they have the bodies or the size to slow down a guy like Luka or LeBron. And the Lakers need a win. So I couldn't believe how low this over-under was. 218.5 for a team that's terrible at defense and another team that just doesn't have their best defender in Dillon Brooks. Sign me up. I'll take the over.
Not taking advantage of the Spartans plus 7.5 against Purdue, huh?
No.
Man.
Do not trust
Yeah, I think I would take the Boilermakers, actually. That line's a little sketchy. If it was like 5.5, I'd be all over Purdue.
I don't like that line.
Yeah, it's a little too sketchy to take either one. So, yeah, I guess I'll give you that there. Not taking the Wings when they're coming back tonight. Like
hockey's tough, man.
They're
Hockey's
underdogs.
Really
Take
tough.
the Wings money line, Okay, no. I think I'm going to fade this today strictly because yesterday I wanted to fade, and you convinced me into tailing. So
good reasoning.
But, like, it wasn't, though, because it didn't hit,
Sometimes you got to stand by the reasoning. Sometimes the reasoning is still good.
Right, like you've continued to stand by the Jack Flaherty, Tyrone Lorenzo thing, which Tyrone Lorenzo hit a bomb for the Tigers in spring training.
I saw that in the orange jerseys.
Yes, he did. Yeah, I'm going to fade.
So we think this is like 100 to 114. Lakers just can't score. What do we think happens?
I think the Lakers beat the Suns.
And the Suns don't score enough?
Yeah.
Okay. They're 5.5-point favorites. That doesn't matter, though. All we care about is going over 218.5 points. And that is our lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
Quick shout out to our friends over at Eastman Party Store, your one-stop shop for everything you need before the weekend hits, whether you're grabbing cold drinks, snacks for the game, or realizing last minute that you do, in fact, need some ice. Eastman Party Store has you covered. Heading to a tailgate, house party, or just sitting on the couch tonight, make it easy on yourself. Swing by Eastman Party Store and get in, get out, and get on with your night. Eastman Party Store, quick stop, great selection, and always clutch when you need it most. All right, the second thing we typically do to close out the show is predict what Colin Cowherd opens with. He does the herd. He takes over our airwaves at 12 for Fox Sports Radio. You got a point yesterday. You're creeping back into this thing.
46-40. I'm still down by a good amount. But I'm finally into the 40s, so that's pretty good for me.
Shout out Kyle.
Yeah. LeBron James led lead. It's your turn to go first.
It's a tough one, man.
We're in that time, man. It's really
Is it
we're-
combine?
We're in
Is
an
it-
interesting spot.
I think it's
Gotta go to the
combine
NFL
rumors.
today.
I think it's got to be like something that's coming out of the combine. It's not going to be the trade that happened earlier today, but it's got to be something along the lines of news coming out of the combine. And I don't know, is the most relevant thing the Raiders are not trading Crosby and that they're going to be all in? I think that's going to be the team that I like kind of cling on to. And I don't know. I'm just going to, in doubt, I'm going to choose the Raiders.
Yeah, he's been doing that a lot.
I'm going to choose the Raiders. John Spytek, great name, GM there, says he's not trading Crosby. Fernando could be set up to succeed if they go trade for a receiver. Something along the lines of Fernando Mendoza and the Raiders and Tom Brady, which makes it very fun as well.
Right, true. Yeah, it looks like Stephen A. and Dan Orlovsky were talking about Fernando Mendoza this morning, too. I just went on the NFL ESPN homepage, and that's what they were talking about. So I like that pick, actually. I think that's pretty solid. I think I'm just going to – I agree. It's got to be NFL today because, I mean, last night in the NBA was Pistons Thunder, and the Thunder didn't play. Like, that had a chance to be the lead today if the Thunder guys played. They obviously didn't. What if he led with that, though? Like, that's the dilemma of the NBA. The guys don't play the games. You know, that could happen. No, I'm going to go with NFL. The Bears are a little bit in the news with the Tremaine Edmonds stuff, and it might just be an excuse to talk about Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams, right? Makes no sense. The Combine definitely, makes more sense for the rookies and everything. But I also want to talk about A.J. Brown, though, too. Man. No, I'm pivoting. I'm going with the Eagles trading A.J. Brown.
Ooh.
I'm going with the Eagles thing. Like,
I don't mind that.
Yeah, I'm going to rock with that because that's been something, like you said, has come out of the Combine a little bit here. The Caleb Williams stuff just really doesn't make sense, but if that is the pick, I'll be pretty upset. So, yeah, I will go with Eagles, A.J. Brown stuff.
Okay. Fair enough. You and I both think that the Eagles will still have Eagles problems even if he's traded.
Yes. It's more of a Philly thing than it is an A.J. Brown thing.
I think it's more of a Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts thing
Right.
than an A.J. Brown thing.
John let us know in the YouTube chat. I don't know if you knew this. Nick Sirianni won a Super Bowl last year.
Did he really? Can we confirm that with somebody?
Yeah, I'll get on that.
Appreciate you, Kyle. All right, that's basically going to do it for us today. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm sure we'll have some things to. You know what we haven't talked about in a while? Like we've sprinkled it in, but we haven't actually done a topic on it. Is Sparty? Maybe we can do that depending on what happens tonight.
I think we're for sure going to. Yeah.
If they get their butts kicked in, we got a real problem.
Yeah. I mean, the last thing we talked about with them was basically just Mick Cronin just being a. That was the last MSU thing we talked about.
Are you raising your voice at me?
The last thing before that was honestly the Michigan State game, which at this point was a month ago. Little less than a month ago.
Yeah, we're gonna talk some college hoops tomorrow, huh? We got to talk about Michigan versus Illinois.
Yeah,
huge game, and then Michigan State Purdue tonight.
We're gonna talk to your guy.
Yeah, Brian
Bosch.
Bush will come
Bush.
on. Yes.
Yeah. Voice of the Michigan Wolverines over on the radio side for the basketball stuff. So that's going to be exciting. Hope everyone can tune in. If you are not subscribed on our YouTube, please go ahead and do that. Search 100.9 The Mitt on YouTube. Exclusive content on there. Facebook, you can stay up to date on all the latest news. We got Combine updates for you. We've got what the Lions are interested in the draft. We've got Piston stats for you, all the latest stuff. And then on the Instagram side of things, exclusive video content there. TikTok side of things, same deal there. It's been awesome to see the platform grow, and that's thanks to you guys. So everyone listening tonight, appreciate you a heck of a lot. Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow for a fun Friday show. Not Football Friday anymore, but it is still going to be a fun Friday nonetheless. We appreciate you guys. From the Blaze Electric Studio, Ben Bosscher, Kyle Sandel signing off. Talk to you guys tomorrow, 9 o'clock. Don't forget it.
The Ben Bosch